Hello and welcome to the live watch along for our huge game we have tonight against Brentford. Um, Obviously, most of you probably know now what the lineup is, but just in case you do not, there it is along the bottom of the screen. You can also see the bench. I suppose the big thing that jumps out at you first is change of formation. David Moyes has decided to go with wing backs. So that's something new, at least, something different. So just to go through them. So Fabianski retains his place in goal despite a howler, has to be said, against Arsenal, conceding that goal from Martinelli. We've got three centre backs. So Dawson will be on the right of the three. Cresswell will be on the left of the three. And Oggy will be in the centre of the three. And then the two wing backs will be Emerson on the left and Sofal on the right. And then we've got two in midfield, which is Declan Rice and Lucas Paqueta, with a front three of Benrahma, Bowen, and Scamacca. So I suppose the big talking points there, apart from the formation change, is Souček has been dropped and Scamacca is back. So it's great to see both of those things. Frankly, I think it's long overdue that Souček has been dropped, and it's great to see Scamacca is back and ready to play. It seems Moyes, despite talking about recently that his job's not really in any particular danger, I think that says something different. Now, again, look, it's good that he's doing something. I was really hoping to not see the same formation, same players. So it is at least something different. But as with anything, this will come down to much more than just the formation and changing a couple of players. Ultimately, this will come down to intent. Because, as I always say, you can play really well or really poorly in any formation, and you can win or lose in any formation. So let's see what the intent is, and we'll know that really in the first few minutes. If we come out with attacking intent and more positivity than we've been seeing, then that could bode well for the game. So this will be an interesting one, and I'll be interested to hear what you guys think in the chat. What do you think of this formation, change of formation, and the personnel? Would you have done something different? Let's pop in here and see. Mandy G's in the house. Hey Tommy, that is one crazy lineup. LOL. No Fornells or Downs, not even Sochi, but it looks fun. Oh, yeah. I think, look, because there's a midfield too. I think it had to be Paqueta alongside Rice. I wouldn't want to see Fornells in that formation because it probably means Benrahma's not playing, which wouldn't be good. So no Fornells, but that's okay. Downs not playing. Again, okay. At least they're there on the bench if we need them. And Mandy again, this line should suit Benny, as Emerson will take over his defensive duties down the left side. Yes. And as we know, Emerson is good at getting forward too. I think him and Benny will be close to each other a lot when we're on the ball and when we're attacking. So hopefully they'll work well together down that left-hand side. I think we might get more joy down that side. I'm not sure about the Sofal Bowen kind of partnership, but as you say, Mandy, for Benny and Bowen, it just frees them up a little bit because there's three centre backs back there and the wing backs. We shouldn't need, really Bowen and Benny to be back, on the edge of their own box too much and stuff. It's just unnecessary. Mandy again, Bowen and Benny should get much more freedom to attack. Yeah, exactly that. So hopefully that'll do well. Hopefully they can stay a little bit further forward when we're not in possession, looking to get those passes when we win the ball back in our own half and get us on the attack very quickly. Come on, you Warrens, absolutely. And Rooney throwing the game up on the second screen at work. Good thing the boss already left for New Year's. Yeah, happy days. So you might be neglecting your job for a couple of hours, I reckon. Do you think Moyes will be gone if not a win? The thing is, I don't. I don't think he'd be sacked even if we lose. He should be. I think if we lose tonight, I think any fans who are still hanging on, to Moyes in, I think will turn as well. He should be sacked if we don't win this one, but honestly, I don't believe he will be. I still think he would get more time even if we lose tonight. So, a point, I think he'll certainly keep his job. We've got Garino, my old mocker. How are you? Good to see you. And everyone just saying hello. Good to see some changes we made. Still not optimistic. Yeah, like I said, changing formation is one thing. Swapping a couple of players out is one thing. But again, it will come down to intent. We could sit back and defend in this formation just the same as we do in our usual formation. So it's going to come down to whether or not Moyes sends them out to have a go at Brentford. I mean, at home to Brentford, like if you can't come out and be positive and try and get after them and really go for the win, then you're just on a losing ticket, really, and it's pointless keeping the manager if he's never going to go out and try and bloody beat teams. Green, I hope Rice Paqueta work together and create a blueprint for the future. Yeah, that's one of the big things I'm going to be looking out for tonight is with Rice and Paqueta operating as a proper midfield pairing, to see how they operate together as a pair in there. Look, they're better than Brentford's midfield pairing. It's as simple as that. They're much better quality than the midfield of Brentford. So, we should be having joy in the middle of the field with those two in there. So, fingers crossed it pans out that way. Hi, Tommy and chat. Just hoping Pac-Man has been given a forward role with Declan staying back. Yeah, I think that will be likely. I think Paqueta will get forward a lot more than Rice. Certainly in the first hour. We tend to see that anyway. Declan tends to only really start kind of raiding forward in the last kind of 20 minutes of games or something like that. He tends to start roving upfield. But they could dovetail that job just as easily. Maybe if Declan has an opportunity to bomb forward, maybe he takes a pass, from one of the wing backs, or he takes a pass from a centre back, and he gets turned and he has space. Then by all means, Declan should be driving on with the ball, and Paqueta will just have to sit. But equally, if the ball goes to Paqueta, he can turn, drive with the ball, and Declan just sits and protects. But we've got the extra bit of freedom. There's three centre backs back there. I think a lot of the reason Moyes went with the three centre backs today is because Thomas Frank does tend to have two forwards on the pitch. He does tend to play two up top, and I don't think Moyes wanted 2 versus 2 in there, so he went with 3 at the back. Evans West Ham 13-5 Brentford. Yeah, we'll see about that one. Evening, all you beautiful people. And okay, so let me know in the chat what you think of this lineup. Both the formation and the personnel. Are you happy with it? Does it make you more positive than you were before this came out? I'll be honest. I think I like it for the simple fact that Moyes is doing something. I'd have been really, really pissed off if this had been the same team, same lineup, same approach as we saw in the Arsenal game, with Souček in there with Rice, and that would have been, that would really not have filled me with any hope whatsoever. So at least he's done something, in my opinion. Now, again, like I said, it will still come down to intent. But if we come out and we're positive and we really take this game by the scruff of the neck right from the kickoff, then yeah, we can absolutely win this game. Because you look at the 11 that are on the pitch, despite the few injuries we've got. Okay, Cornet is not available. Aguerd is on the bench, so he's not starting, and Zuma is going to be out for a little while yet. That's a strong side. I mean, it's a better team on paper than Brentford are going to be putting out. You know, so really at home, certainly on paper, this is a game that we should be favourites in, and that we should feel positive about and feel like we could really get something out of this. So I'll be really depressed if we still don't perform and lose with this formation. We've got okay, except for Fabs. Yeah, I agree, Ashley. But and this is not just because of his mistake against Arsenal. I've felt right from pre-season, since we made Areola a permanent signing, that he should have been installed as our number one. We paid decent money for him, and he's on very, very good wages. So I think he should have been there all season, and I haven't changed my mind on that. Mandy, I like and don't like the lineup. I'd prefer to see Rice, Downs, and Fornells in the flat back four, but this lineup looks very interesting and unpredictable. Yeah, that's actually the team. I don't know if you saw my Twitter earlier, Mandy. I put out my starting 11, and I had a 4-3-3, and my midfield three was very close to yours. I didn't have Downs. In the midfield three, I had Rice, Fornells, and Paqueta. I just wanted to see Fornells in there in midfield again for ball retention. Really good passer of a ball. He's the kind of player like Paqueta who can find Scamacca and those runs he makes with a clever pass. But yeah, that's how I had it. And I had the front three then, obviously, of Scamacca, Benny, and Bowen. So yeah, I went 4-3-3. I assume that's what you're saying as well. Rice, Downs, and Fornells. Do you mean in a 4-3-3 with those three in midfield, Mendy? I assume you mean that you don't want Fornells in left wing, right? Howard, we're going to smash Brentford tonight. Positivity from Howard. Howard thinks today is the day when we actually put in a performance. I really hope that's the case. We badly need a performance, not just a win. Obviously, we need 3 points more than we need anything else, but we really need to see a performance as well, in my opinion. Give us. I mean, that would be a huge boost before we go to Elland Road, because Leeds are very unpredictable. They can score 4 goals, but they can concede 4 as well on any given night. So we really need a lift. I think the players, for their confidence, really need a lift. They've got to be sick of losing games. We've lost 4 Premier League games on the bounce. We've lost 5 of our last 6. We also lost to Blackburn at home in the Cup, the Blackburn B team, let's be honest. So, that's my worry for tonight too. I don't know about you guys, but one of my real worries for tonight is that maybe the confidence is very, very low. And that we won't see a performance for that reason. And I think that's why it's important that we start well. I think if we can start well and be all over them, and especially if we can go 1-0 up, I think that will really pick the players up. I think their tails will be up. It'll help with their confidence. But I think if we start slowly and then we concede and go 1-0 down, the players' heads could drop again. And that is not a good situation. Mandy again. Let's hope we can gain some back tonight. It's a different lineup and system. Yeah. Don't want to see sideways passing back and should be looking to get the ball into the box. Yeah, look, we've got players on the park there that should be perfectly capable of passing the ball well, getting hold of the ball, who can run with the ball at feet. The likes of Rice, Paqueta, Emerson, all good with their feet, good passers. Obviously, Benny and Bowen very good with the ball at their feet, getting forward and attacking. Skamaka's got really good feet for a tall guy. He can pick out a pass, and he's got some skill about him. So I think the big thing that we have to see tonight is that Skamaka cannot be isolated. Every time we've seen Skamaka, he's been isolated. Ball gets played up there. No one's near him. There's no one within an ass's roar of the guy. And it's very hard for him to do anything. He gets very frustrated because there's no one around him. I think we have to make sure that Skamaka has got players around him. And I think that's when we'll see the best of Skamaka. And certainly, I'll tell you what, I don't want to see Skamaka having to come back into our half to get a pass or get a touch on the ball. Just that cannot happen. Skamaka has to be able to operate within 30 yards of the goal at all times. He's got to be always in a position where he can make a run in behind, or he can make a run out wide to get a pass down the flanks, where Bowen can cut inside then, or Benny can cut inside then. But he can't be isolated, and he can't be inside our half. That would be a disaster. Souček needs to be dropped. He has been. He has been dropped tonight. You see the lineup on the bottom of the screen there. He's on the bench. Rice, Paqueta, and Fornals would be even better. Yeah, as a midfield three, I think that tonight would have been fantastic. I think we've seen Moyes' limit. Yeah, I agree. Despite the formation change and the personnel change, I still worry about, because he's just so defensive by nature. I won't believe that we're going to get after them and attack them and try and outscore them until I see it. And we'll find out very soon. Yes, 4-3 from Andy. I'm tired of losing. Yeah, it's getting old. And look, if it's getting old for us and getting depressing for us, Mandy, you can be absolutely sure it's getting old and depressing for the players. And not only will you lose confidence as a team in your ability to win games, but you'll lose confidence and faith in what the manager's doing and in the way he's setting the team up and the way he's approaching games tactically. It's inevitable. No matter how much you like the manager personally, you will lose faith in him. Still in the captain, so we need some rule breakers in this world. Yep, absolutely. Okay, it's predictable, especially against Big Six. We can suss out, sure, Pep and Klopp can. Yeah, absolutely. And I suppose that's one other maybe good thing about this change of formation tonight. Thomas Frank may not have been expecting this. He may not have expected to be playing against three centre backs. So maybe it'll give Thomas Frank and his players a little something to think about. Just put a little uncertainty into their minds. Spot on. We started well against Arsenal, but got deflated easily. I think it'll be easier to not lose steam in this game. At the first 20 minutes are crucial. Yeah, we've got to come out of the blocks quickly and with intent. There has to be intensity. It has to be closing down. That work rate's got to be there. We have to play at a high tempo. We have to get players forward in numbers in and around their box when we attack. Like I say, Skamaka cannot be isolated. Brentford will come out with trap quick because they know we start slowly. We need to surprise them and get at them. Yeah, 100%. Let them start fast. We have to match it. Is there a game on TV anywhere? No, unfortunately. It's not live anywhere. Not in this part of the world anyway. So we're going to have to do it another way. But you have me. Worst case scenario, if you can't find it anywhere, you have me. I'm going to be doing the live watch along for you, doing the commentary, and I'm way better than Martin Tyler. So there's that. Moyes says up draw most games, hoping they can win. Yeah. Antonio said it in an interview a few months ago that Moyes sets up to keep it really tight in the first 30 minutes of each half, and then the final 15 minutes of each half to kind of go and get forward in more numbers and see if we can nick a goal. It's actually really fucking pathetic. Suchek needs a rest big time, played so many games. Yes, he needs a rest for the rest of the season. And I'm not saying that as a joke. Embassy Sports app for streaming in America or VPN. Okay. That's spot on, mate. Let's see what else we got here. It does get depressing. My ex was kind of ruined, really. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was on Boxing Day. So hopefully, Cross, you had a good Christmas day at least before West Ham intervened and fucked everything up. Yeah, so we're not too far away now. Less than 10 minutes to the kickoff. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. Tony has been worried we need to have 4 eyes on him. Yeah, look, Ivan Tony obviously is the big threat up front for them. He's a tremendous player. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a really decent chance Ivan Tony scores tonight. He's really hard to deal with. So yeah, that is a worry. We shouldn't worry what Brentford is going to do. We need to concentrate on our own game. Well, yeah, ultimately, look, I think what it is, Joseph, or whatever your real name is, but I think the big thing for me is that we match them. Look, they're going to come out, they're going to be positive, they're going to try and get at us, they're going to try and score goals, they're going to try and soak up whatever pressure we do try to put on them. That's fine. They'll play with a good tempo, they'll be well organised. Okay, fine, it's the Premier League, you don't expect to play mugs. So the important thing for us to say is we have to do what we need to do. We need to make sure our tempo is high, that we play with positivity, that we get after them, that we work hard and close them down, force them to misplace passes. Like in a game like this, like we should really at least be breaking even on possession, and we shouldn't be kind of living off scraps in this game. That would be a joke. We have a better 11 on the pitch than they do. I know they've got some good players, and particularly Ivan Tony is a real threat, but we shouldn't be playing second fiddle at home to this lot. Our defense need to be defensive. Yeah, well, there's 3 of them in there to deal with the 2. What's the other guy's name for Brentford? It's I can't pronounce it. It's like an African name. It's Mbuema or something like that. So they've got both of those up top. So it won't just be Tony. We're going to have to keep an eye. I mean, look at the Arsenal game. They had to play Nketiah up front, and he's he is not nearly as good as Gabriel Jesus, and he still scored against us. Nketiah. I don't think Nketiah is that great, to be perfectly honest. So I wouldn't ignore this Mbuema lad either up front for them. Regardless of who's on the pitch, they need to be better in every aspect. Yeah, well, that's it. It's just let's get our own performances right, because they have been absolutely shocking. We've got to get our performances right. That is vitally important. Okay, so we're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. So I want to know what your predictions are. Now that we've seen the change of formation, we've seen the lineup, let me know what you think. Does it make you more positive? Have you changed your mind in any way about what the scoreline might be or what you're expecting from this game? And I'll put it up here. Me personally, I'm a little encouraged. I have to say, I'm a little bit encouraged. At least because it's something. The change of formation is something. And, Souček not playing is something. Skamaka being back is something. So I'll be honest, I'm a little more hopeful that maybe this change of formation, a little bit of change in personnel, that maybe it signifies a little change in attitude as well. That we're actually going to try and really go and try and win this game, that we're going to approach it more positively and more attack-minded, and take this game by the scruff of the neck at home to Brentford like we should be. Is regardless of who's on the pitch, they need to be better in every. Yeah, sorry, I think they're wrong. True, Toby, hope you're good. 2-1, we can't settle for the point. No, point will not be good enough in this game. We're way too close to the relegation zone to be drawing at home now. We have got to start winning games and move up the table. Be happy to nick a 2-1 win. Be happy to nick any win. I'll be happy with the points. I'll be happy with the points. If we win, at the very least, I'll be happy with the 3 points because they're badly needed. But I want to see more than just winning. We could shithouse a 1-0 win, right? They could hit the post 3 times and we could win a penalty and nick it 1-0 and not really have deserved to win it. I don't want to see that. I want to see a change of attitude from Moyes in the way he approaches these games. I want to see much more positivity and much more attack-minded football. I want to see a performance for once. It's been far too long since we've seen a really, really good performance from West Ham. So that's what I want to see. A lot to go along with the 3 points. Which TV shows football live and clear? I don't know what you mean. Who would you like to replace Moyes with? To be honest, ideally, I'd love to get Vincent Kompany. I would love to get Vincent Kompany out of Burnley. That would be amazing. I think he's an up-and-coming manager. I like him because he's up-and-coming. He's a modern-day manager. He's up-and-coming. I really like the job he did at Anderlecht. I really like what he's doing with Burnley. He would command huge respect in the dressing room. All of these players, like some of them have played against him, and know what a brilliant player he is. So I'd love it. I want like a younger, more progressive manager, ideally. That's not to say an older manager can't do a really good job. Like I wouldn't complain about Mancini. I'll tell you that. If we got Roberto Mancini, and I think that would be fantastic. I think he's a really good manager. He knows the Premier League, speaks English. I'm sure he'd love to be back in full-time management in the Premier League. So if we could get someone like that, I'd be fine with is it Postecoglou from Celtic. I'd be willing to give him a chance. I think he could do something. I really like him as a person, by the way. His attitude toward fans is amazing, and I like the way he sets his team up to play. It wouldn't be boring. Or Bielsa. I know Bielsa is not exactly a defensive guru, but I do think he's a very good manager, and it would not be boring. We would certainly start to get really entertaining, free-flowing, attacking football. And that would be a massive upgrade on what we've been watching under Moyes. Joseph, I hope we get clean sheet 2-0 to the Hammers. Yeah, fingers crossed. A clean sheet would be really nice. He's changed something personal, but Moyes won't change his setup. Yeah, well, that's unfortunately might be the issue tonight. Change the formation all you want. You can swap players in and out all you want, but unless your tactics become more positive, you're just flogging a dead horse. Don't you think we should get top European managers to hit club forward? If we can get one, sure. I mean, I just don't think Pochettino or Tuchel would take the job. There was a time I thought we might have a chance to get them in, but I don't really know, considering the position we're in. Once you plan for Christmas. Yeah, look, like I say, a win is a win. Can't really defend anyway. Yeah, we've it's been a problem defending. Of course, the hope is, once we've got Aguerd and Zuma starting, that would improve. I think Rodgers be a good shout. Yeah, you know what? If Rodgers got sacked from Leicester, I actually would be fine with Brendan Rodgers. I think he would do a good job. Biggest game we've had for a season and a half tonight, for all manner of reasons. Yeah, it is. It's huge. Let's see what's in this young bucket chance. Nagelsmann. Yeah, I would absolutely do that. Yeah, game has just kicked off. So bear with me, everyone. Ball's just being pinballed around the midfield. All right, we finally win it. I'll get rid of that ticker. I think we all know by now. Ooh. Okay, Paqueta driving forward through midfield with the ball, slips it through to Benny, plays it back to him now out to the left to Emerson. Cresswell overlapping, but he plays it back to Paqueta. Rice and Paqueta just playing between them. So on the left now with Benny. Still out on the left with Benny. The moment we're just popping the ball out around, kind of between Paqueta and Benny, Emerson and Rice. Not doing much with it at the moment, just probing. Paqueta just tried to play it over the top as Benny ran through, but he overhit it and it just gone out for a goal kick. But some nice possession there, knocking the ball around a little bit. And Rodgers is a two-season man. I think every manager is a two-season man now. I think 2 seasons is about the average now for Premier League managers. That's about all they get. Poor goal kick from Brentford's keeper. Just put it straight out of play for a throw into us on the halfway line. Cresswell will take it. Okay, we've got possession out here on the right-hand side of midfield. With Safal drives infield, looking for an option. Gets one from Benny. Benny to Bowen. Bowen slips it through to Benny. He has to turn back. Try to play into the centre to Bowen, but it gets cut out. There were too many bodies in there. He picked a tough pass. But Rice has won it back well, pops it to Benny out on the right-hand wing. And the touch from the... I thought that was a touch from a Brentford player. That looked like a corner, but... Yeah, linesman's given a goal kick, unfortunately. Benny switched over to the right-hand side for a moment there, but he's going back over now to his left-hand side. Okay, it's with the Brentford keeper. Ball at his feet. Closing down someone, please. Okay. So out to the right back and back to the keeper. They're trying to play out from the back here, Brentford. So if we can close down, as Declan Rice does there, out to the... They're trying to play their way out of trouble here. We've got to keep pressing, force a mistake. It's back with the keeper again. We're pressing quite well here, but it's kind of like a half press, where some players have pressed and others haven't, and then we've just completely abandoned the press, and now they're able to just walk the ball out to midfield. Just bizarre. Just, if you're going to press. If you're not, don't. Half pressing and then abandoning the press. Like, come on. Still not much happening. They've got the ball in midfield in the centre circle. Tries to play a long through ball down the middle, cut out by Oggy, who finds Cresswell, who plays the most bizarre ball out towards the wing and just hoofs it clean out of play. It was like a desperate clearance when there was no one near him. Okay, it's with the Brentford centre-back. Again, Bowen and Skamaka pressing, trying to make it difficult. Ball played down the left-hand wing, but played straight out of play. So Safal will take the throw in. It's really scrappy stuff at the moment, it has to be said. No great quality from either side at the moment. Okay, throw-in comes in, and we cough up possession. Brentford hoof a ball down the wing. It's one. So Brentford have it out in the left wing. Ball played across towards the centre box, but Rice cuts it out and now drives out with the ball. He's in the midfield on the left-hand side. Plays it for Benny. Benny tried to skin his man and he's gone past him. There's a chance here if he wants to put a cross in. He doesn't. He cuts the ball back to Rice, about 25 yards out, looking for options. Back out to Benny on the wing. Cuts in. Ben back into Rice. Rice having a shot. It's hit the post. Rice hit the outside of the post from about 25 yards. That was a really good effort Oh, that was unlucky. That was very close. Yeah, just curled it. Keeper was beaten. All ends up by Rice. Just in the shot from behind. Just didn't quite come in enough. Just hit the outside of the post and went out for a goal kick. That was a really great effort from Rice. So a pretty positive start from us. Ball hoofed down the field by the keeper. Brentford win it, but cough it up again, and we play it back to Fabianski. Takes the touch, pops it out to Dawson, who's out on the right-hand wing. Into Paqueta, who slips it to Rice, and Rice over to Cresswell. Now the wing-backs are staying quite advanced. So Sofal and Emerson are staying quite close to the halfway line when we have possession. And it's actually Dawson and Cresswell who are coming out a little wide to take possession. So Oggy basically is more or less on his own with Dawson now in the centre. So Sofal and Cresswell are actually sitting in the wing-back positions. Sofal has it now into Benny out on the left-hand side. He overhit that pass to Benny, but he's still got possession out on the left-hand side. Cuts it in on his right foot, but just plays it out on the left wing now with Cresswell. Will he deliver? No, changes his mind. It's back with Rice near the centre circle. Pops it to Paqueta, who holds off the challenge. Swings it out to Bowen. Bowen tries to slip Scamacca through, but just caught out by the centre back. And now Brentford will try to bring it out. Direct ball through, looking for the striker, but Oggy read that all up. So Oggy has possession and plays it across to Cresswell, who again is in that wing-back position on the left-hand side. He brings it forward. We've got a player down. Player stop. West Ham player down. Lucas Paqueta is down. Seems he's holding his knee area. I don't know if there was any contact on him or if he went down with no one near him. I'm waiting to see the replay. I'm just watching Paqueta. Oh, he went down with nobody anywhere near him. He's holding his right knee. Oh, that can't be a good sign. When a player goes down, he was just jogging and just all of a sudden just went down holding his knee. Cannot believe he wasn't even sprinting. So I don't know what the hell has happened there. Now, the good thing is he's up on his feet already. I'm watching the physios to see if they're indicating anything. I don't think they're indicating at the moment that he needs to come off. Lanzini and Soucek are warming up. One of our coaching staff is having a chat with Soucek. Please don't be Soucek if he has to go off. At the moment, he's going to carry on. Paqueta, and he's running freely. Doesn't look like he's struggling at all. So whatever it was, at the moment, thankfully, it seems as if he'll be able to continue. He came back on and went on a run looking for the ball. Didn't seem to be moving gingerly or anything. It looks okay. That was a scare. We do not want to lose Paqueta. Anyway, it's a throw into West Ham on the near side. Sofal will take it. Finds Scamacca, who flicks it to Bowen. We're kind of stuck in a corner here. Oh, that's beautiful from Scamacca. Ball's played and he flicked it into the middle to Rice. Rice now out to Emerson. Tries to play the cross, but it gets blocked. Headed back to him, though, by Cresswell. And back to Rice. Finds Paqueta in the centre. Oh, just tries to play it to Bowen, but gets intercepted. Wasn't a great pass, to be completely honest. Long ball down from the keeper, headed on, and Oggy can send it back to the keeper. And it's out on this left-hand side now with Cresswell. So still in our half, just trying to find a gap. Brentford are pressing, and they've won the ball back, but it was foul. It was a foul on Emerson. Not a clever foul either, it has to be said. Ref should be having a word for that. Went right through the back of Emerson as he was playing it back to Cresswell. So quickly taking free kick, looking for Skamaka down the left-hand side. He's got 2 players shepherding him and loses it, not surprisingly. So Brentford now try and take it out on the right-hand side. Again, we're pressing, trying to make it difficult for them to come out with the ball. So it's with the centre-back who plays it long down the wing. Dawson does well to cut it out, and he's found Bowen. Bowen charging down the right-hand side. Dawson on the overlap. But Bowen won't use him. Oh, Bowen did the wrong thing there. He drove into the area very well, but then he tried to shoot from a very tight angle with Ben Mee close to him, and Ben Mee blocked it. It is a corner. He should have squared that and looked for someone in the centre, really, Bowen, rather than going for goal from a very tight angle inside the box. Actually, in his defence, I think he was trying to square it, looking at the replay, but Ben Mee cut it out well. In comes the corner from Bowen. Headed on! Oh, just wide. Dawson got on it. It was a really good corner from Bowen. Dawson got his head on it cleanly, tried to flick it in at the far post, and it just went wide of the far post. He's won the ball well there in traffic, Dawson. He had 3 players around him and still won it. Tried to just flick it in at the near post, at the far post, and it just shaved the outside of the post as it went past. I thought for a second that was in. So this is a positive start now. We're starting to play a little bit of football now. It's much better. So the ball at the moment is being pinballed up and down, but Paqueta brings it down, finds Rice, back to Paqueta, into the centre to Benny, running down the centre, but gets fouled in possession when he's driving forward. So free kick, about 35 yards out, central. So we'll see. That's a good run from Benny. I'll tell you what, we're moving around really well positionally. We're not rigid in our positions. Like Benny's been showing up in the centre, out on the left where he started. He's been showing up on the right-hand side. Bowen's been out on the right, showing up. Sometimes he's been running infield, collecting passes in the centre. We're making it difficult for them to track these runs. So the movement at the moment is very good. Okay, Cresswell ready to take this. Plays a diagonal ball inside the box for Dawson, who heads it down, but doesn't get much purchase on it, and it gets cleared out for a throw-in. So at the moment, it has to be said, it is all West Ham. So a positive start. This is better. This is better. Sofal, long throw. Looking for Skamaka, who's able to bring it down. Finds Dawson. Dawson goes down. Referee waves off, but it falls to Bowen, who turns and tries the shot, but blocked out again for another corner. So we're playing well here, and we're putting them under the cosh a little bit. So this is really what I wanted to see early on in the game. This is positive. We haven't really tested their keeper yet, to be completely honest. We haven't really brought any saves out of him. So hopefully we can start getting some shots on target. Dawson was never getting a penalty for that. He was just off balance. It was just a little bit of wrestling between him and the centre-back in there, 50-50, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. But Bowen now ready to send in this corner. In it comes. Keeper comes for it, flaps at it a little bit, drops down to Dawson. Oh, he's gone down again. Ref waves it off again. Ball is cleared out. It's out on the left-hand side here now. Lovely 1-2. Benny and Cresswell. Benny's on the ball, twisting and turning. Back to Emerson. Emerson has to play it back to Rice under pressure. Now Paqueta, who plays it through Sofal on the inside right channel, comes out wide, tries to play Bowen through with the ball over the top, but again, it's overhit and goes out harmlessly for a goal kick. So Dawson's come down a couple of times, and he's been appealing for the penalty. Let's have a look at this one. He goes running for the ball. No. You're never getting a penalty for that. Just having a look at this slow-mo again. No, it's accidental contact. No challenge came in from the defender. You can't be getting penalties for that. I'd be fuming if we conceded one. Okay, A shot. First shot from Brentford. They came back from the replay and Brentford were attacking. Ivan Toney got a shot off for about 25 yards, but it was a comfortable save. Bounced into the hands of Fabianski. Was never threatening. Very comfortable save. And long ball down, looking for Sofal, headed on, cleared by Brentford. They have it now in their own half or around the middle of the field and played back to their right back. Brentford almost coughed up possession, but the ricochet favoured them. So Brentford with possession in their own half. Ben Mee mistouch, so he just hoofs it down the line. And a miscontrol from Toney, goes out for a throw-in. So Sofal once again with the throw-in. Launch forward, looking for Bowen, but gets cut out. And this is back with Brentford's keeper. So, and again, just being played between the keeper and the centre backs. Brentford are determined to try and play it out, but we're really not letting them. So the keeper's got to hoof it again. Long ball looking for Toney, that never had a chance. So again, a long ball from Agbana, so it's back with the Brentford centre back. We're really doing well here in restricting Brentford's ability to move the ball from back to front. We've really reduced them to playing low percentage, longer passes, and they're getting no joy from it whatsoever. Another long ball down the wing. So Fell does really well there to cut it out and manages to prevent it from going out for the corner. So he's able to hoof it out for a throw-in. Yeah, we're really reducing Brentford to lower percentage passes, forcing them to play it longer than they'd like to and play it more direct than they'd like to. And we're dealing with those balls easily. John Ash in County Clare. How are you? I'm in Kerry, so I'm not that far. Okay. And obviously Piquet is absolutely fine. Whatever that was, that little tweak he felt, it wasn't an issue, thankfully. So long throw in from Brentford, headed on into the box. Oh, the shot came in. It was saved initially, but the rebound is in. Oh, that's a disaster. That's an absolute disaster. Ivan Toney. Oh, long throw in from Brentford. It was headed on at the near post. An initial shot came in. I don't know who from. It was parried by Fabianski. Unfortunately, it was parried right into the path of Ivan Toney, who knocked it in. And completely against the run of play, Brentford have scored. Just looking at the replay, headed on at the near post. Shot comes in. Fabianski couldn't do much more with it, to be honest. It was a close range shot that he could only parry with his hand, and it just fell perfectly for Toney. There's so many bodies in the box. It could have fallen anywhere, but it fell right to Toney, and he's able to just prod it in with his studs. That is undeserved. It's a scrappy goal, an undeserved lead. It has to be said for Brentford, an absolute disaster for us. We've really been the better side, albeit okay. We haven't really tested their keeper, but we've been in control of this game. That's at the moment that's a shithouse 1-0 lead for Brentford. It has to be said. Anyway, let's see if we can get back into this game. A long way to go. And there's a lot to be positive about in the performance, but we've just got to try and find a way to get at their keeper and get some shots off on goal. Okay, so the ball is over here on the right-hand side with Sofal. Heads it on looking for Bowen, but it gets hoofed clear. Oh, and Dawson has had to put it out under pressure from Toney, or from Mbuemo, excuse me. So it's throw-in a similar position to the one that they scored from on our right-hand side. Oh man, that's frustrating. Okay, it takes it short this time. and it was returned to him. He tried to put the cross in, and it was blocked by, I'm not sure who. Yeah, it's a goal kick. Yeah, it was blocked by Paqueta. I think it seemed like it was, and the ref initially gave a corner, but Paqueta was complaining about it, and then the ref changed his mind, and it's a goal kick. So he obviously played it off his own teammate, who was standing right beside Paqueta. So Fabianski plays a short ball out the wing. It's played up into the midfield to Benny, but he just miscontrols it, and challenge between Emerson and the Brentford player, and it goes out for a throw into West Ham in the middle of the field. Cresswell to take. Paqueta makes himself available, flicks it, looking for Emerson, but overhits it. But we've won it back. It's very congested over there, so possession is flip-flopping between both sides. And eventually now Brentford play it back to their keeper. It's getting closed down by Scamacca, so he hoofs it forward. Ogbonna challenging with Mbuemo, and wins it. And lovely skill to keep the ball from, I think, Paqueta. And now we're driving forward. Benny's in the box, pulls it back for Bowen. Oh, blocked. Shot was blocked. And then they hoof it clear. So we've got possession with Cresswell out on the left. He pops it to Rice down on this left-hand side. Gives it out to Benny. They're just playing it between them out on that left-hand side now. And eventually we're forced back to Ogbonna. Yeah, that was a real chance for Bowen, but it was a good block. But I think it was possibly Ben Mee with the block. I'm not sure, but it was a good block. So unfortunately, another promising position, and we just can't test the keeper. We've got to start testing the keeper. We're on top. We're playing better than them. Scamacca swings the ball out to the right-hand side, looking for Safal, but it gets cut out. So Brentford hoof it clear. Rice wins it in the middle of the field. Back to Oggy, who'll play it out to Cresswell. He'll drive forward, flick it off to Emerson, back to Rice. We're playing a lot of ball on this left-hand side. Rice switches the play over to Safal, who heads it back to Bowen. Out on this right-hand side, again into the centre to Rice. We'll switch it to Cress. And Cress to Benny. Sorry, Paqueta, who plays a long ball for Safal. Safal's touch was heavy. That was a good ball from Paqueta, switching the play inside the penalty area at the far side to Safal, but his touch is heavy and the defender is able to come away with it. But we put the pressure on again and win the ball back well. It's back with Rice in midfield, driving through the centre circle and swings it out to Bowen on the inside right channel. Now he sends it out to the sideline to Safal, who crosses it in, but it's headed clear. So Brentford again trying to come out with the ball. They've won a free kick. It's frustrating because we're moving the ball well. We're dominating the possession. We're dominating territory. But we're just not managing to work opportunities to get shots off on goal. And that's the one thing we've really got to improve, is getting shots on target and testing this goalkeeper, because we really haven't done that yet. So that's the one thing that we've got to start improving, especially now we're 1-0 down. If we can't get shots off at the keeper, then it doesn't matter how many passes we can make or how much time we spend in their final third. We've got to start working real goal-scoring opportunities. The only real one we've had so far was from a corner, which was Dawson's header, which he flicked on towards the far post, which was very close. Okay, Rice in the central circle, pops it to Paqueta, plays it outside of his right boot, out to the right and wing to Safal, who's going to cross the ball in. Again, cleared by the centre-back. He was looking for Scamacca, but just underhit it. And they're driving out with the ball. Paqueta's won it back really well. Looks for Scamacca, but mishits it because he was off balance as he was being challenged. So Brentford have the ball back. in the middle of the field on this right-hand side. Again, they're just playing it around at the back at the moment, probing, looking for a way out. We're pressing high and we're pressing well. Again, we're still making it difficult for them to play their way through midfield. Forcing them back a lot, forcing them to play longer balls than they'd like to. They're still in their own half, popping it about, trying to work their way forward. So nothing to report at the moment. Still with their backs. They're still in their own half. If we can intercept one of these balls, we'll be on the attack very quickly and could create a real opening. All right, it's back to the keeper. He tries to play it into the middle. It's a very good ball, actually. And a foul by Paqueta in the centre circle. So it was played into the centre circle to Tony, who turned, and as he was playing the ball out to the right-hand side, Paqueta just clipped his foot. Okay, so again, it's just with Brentford in around the middle of the field, in the centre circle. Now they played out to the right-hand side. They're not really... Oh, Rice, that's a loose pass. Rice intercepted it, but they got hooked out by a Brentford player. A little bit of a heavy touch from Rice. And Zanka was able to hook it out for a throw-in. It's already been taken. So it's with Rice out on the right wing. He just plays it across to the centre to Dawson. He's looking for an option. Wasn't much on into Ogbonna. And Ogbonna to Cresswell out on the left-hand side. Pops it to Rice. Pops it to Benny. Tries to go past the player, but gets intercepted, but it falls back to Rice, who's now played it to Emerson down the left-hand side. He plays the ball into the centre. There's no one really there. Oh, that's a poor pass from the touch from the defender. So fell into Scamacca, but his header is really weak. Really weak header from Scamacca. Now, there was no pace on the cross. Actually, Jared Bowen nicked it off the fullback really well there. Popped it out to Safal, who put the first-time ball in, but it was one of those kind of slow looping ones in, and Scamacca couldn't really get any power into it, and he just bounced it into the keeper's hands. So a routine save for the keeper. It's unfortunate. That was a potential opportunity. Scamacca will be disappointed he didn't make a bit more of that. He needed to generate the power himself, but couldn't quite do it, and the direction on it wasn't good either. It was straight to the keeper. Cross comes in from Brentford, headed clear by Dawson, won by Scamacca well, and it's with Rice now, so see if we can break. No, it's back with Ogbonna, so we're just going to have to work our way forward again. So it's with Cresswell on the left. He has to play it inside to Ogbonna, not many options around. So with Dawson, we still got it at the back in our own half. With Rice now, pops it into Paqueta, who plays it out wide to Cresswell. He comes inside, but cuts back out again to Benny out on the touchline. Plays it inside to Declan Rice in the centre circle. He plays it to Bowen. Out to Safal now on the right wing touchline. Plays it back to Dawson. Again, we're just popping about, just probing inside Brentford's half. Rice plays a ball out to the right-hand side to Cresswell. Pops it in the inside right channel to Benny. Cuts inside, back to Rice. Again, we're just probing. We need someone to make a run here. We need better movement. We're not stretching them at the back. We're just popping it around. They're allowing us to have it here. They're getting plenty of numbers back. Now Rice is trying to switch out to Safal. He heads it back to Bowen, who has to play it back to Dawson. So it's back around the centre circle with Oggy. Again, we're just moving the ball over and back, probing, not really opening Brentford or creating anything. Again, Benny with the ball on the right, cuts inside. Plays the ball into the box, looking for Bowen, but that's easily defended, really, by the centre-back. They hoof it clear. It's with Dawson. And now back with Oggy in around the centre circle again, who plays it out to Cresswell. So this is like rinse and repeat stuff. Lots of possession. We're probing, but But to be honest, our movement off the ball is not troubling Brentford at the moment. We really need players to start making runs. Declan Rice driving forward with the ball, pops it to Bowen, 25 yards out. Again, back out to the left. Cresswell can cross it now, puts it in, looking for Scamacca, but it's overhit, but it comes through to Safal, who tries to play it back across first time, but it's blocked by the fullback and it's out for a throw-in. So again, we're doing some good stuff, good possession. We're just not hurting them. Safal still looking for an option. Finds Bowen. Bowen tries to play it to Safal. He overhit it a little bit, but Safal managed to keep it in play. Put the ball across. It was a low ball again that didn't trouble them. Cleared out for another throw-in. So Safal back the line to Declan Rice. He's under pressure and he's lost the ball. It's played inside. Tony and Mbuemo tried a 1-2, but made a mess of it. Ogbonna's able to sweep up. And back to Areola, plays it out to Cresswell. Now Paqueta plays it forward quickly to Benny. Benny skins his man. He's driving down the right wing, driving at the box. He tried to play the ball through, but overhit it. Again, cut out by the defender. It wasn't a great pass. Again, a nothing ball really played into the box, looking for Scamacca, easily dealt with. That's a slip in possession from Brentford, but they managed to win it back. Now they're driving through the centre circle, played out to the... he's in the penalty area here with Tony, cuts inside. Tries to play it outside, but Oggy ushers it out. That's the experience of Ogbonna. Did really well there to usher the ball out of play, read the pass, just used his strength to see the ball out over the line. It's a goal kick. That was a potentially dangerous situation on the counter-attack. Brentford won the ball back in midfield in the centre circle and just drove forward. So, yeah, this is... it's getting a little worrying now. Like I say, plenty of possession. We're passing the ball quite well, but we're just not finding a way to hurt them. Another through ball there attempted by Benny. Again, looking for Scamacca, who was on the run, but cut out again. And put out for a throw-in. Quickly taken to Rice. Again, Cresswell, chance to cross it, which he does. Gets blocked, and it's out for a throw-in. Okay, well, we got some joy from the last throw-in, which was taken by Bowen, which Dawson almost scored from. So let's see, maybe we can get some joy here. Cresswell's going to take this one. It's on his side. Do not take this short. Don't try and get clever and take a short corner. Just put it in the box, Cress, because we've got nothing going on. They took it short to Emerson, and then his attempted cross gets blocked out for a throw-in. This absolutely fucking drives me nuts. Put the fucking ball in the box. Throw-in taken quickly to Benny, probing around the edge of the box on that left-hand side, being forced back to Cresswell and back to Rice. He can put the ball in, puts it in, but it's low along the ground, not threatening. But Oggy does well to win it. And he slipped it. Who did he slip that pass to? Paqueta? No, Emerson. Oggy did well, actually, to win the ball back in the box. Slipped a little pass to Emerson, who took the shot on at the near post. A decent effort. I don't think it was going in. I'll just see this angle here. Emerson took the shot on. It was very close. Keeper couldn't take any chances, had to put it out. Cross comes in, headed clear. Emerson wins the clearance, gives it to Benny. Benny back out to Cresswell on the touchline. Slips it down the line for Benny. He's got two players on him. And it's out for a throw-in. So decent effort that from Emerson. Now the keeper was always going to save it because it was a really tight angle, but he got the corner out of it. Okay, throw-in. Benny doing a 1-2 with Cress. He cuts back, plays it into Paqueta, comes back to Rice, who plays it into the centre to Dawson. And Dawson slipped to Safel. He can put the ball in here. Nice angle. Plays it in over the top. Oggy gets on the end, but just loops the ball way over the bar. It was a poor header from Oggy. I think he misread the flight of it and just got under it. and couldn't keep his header down. Yeah, he got under it, misread the flight of it, just couldn't keep the header down, and it was harmlessly over the bar in the end. So again, plenty of possession. We're moving the ball around fine, and we're just not troubling them enough. They're defending a lot, but they're defending relatively comfortably. They're cutting out all the balls that are put in the box because there's no real quality to them. They're just gonna dumped into the box, if you know what I mean. They're not particularly guided crosses. There's a break and play, by the way, at the moment. Ben Mee is down in the penalty area. So this is a frustrating half. A game we should not be losing. We've absolutely been the better team. We've had the lion's share of possession. We've had the lion's share of the territory. Like, we are spending a lot of time in their half. I mean, like, Brentford are barely getting out of their own half. They really are. I mean, we're dominating possession, we're dominating territory, and to be completely honest, we haven't brought like a really good save out of their keeper even yet. He's had a couple of routine stops that any keeper would stop. And we did have that one from, obviously, header from Dawson from the corner that had the keeper beaten all ends up, but it went wide of the post. That still remains the best chance that we've had in this game from a corner. Okay, ball's in the middle of the field, ping-ponging around, but haven't secured possession yet. Now we have. Okay. So it's with Cresswell on the left. He pops it forward to Benrahma, who turns, tries to play a direct ball down the line to Scamacca, but gets cut out. Both teams fighting for possession. We win it with Rice. Rice driving forward, cuts inside to the middle, plays it out to the right wing to Safal. Cuts inside, back to Rice, who plays it across to Emerson on the left-hand side, takes a touch, and then cuts back inside and runs down a blind alley, gets cut out, but thankfully it falls for Paqueta, who finds Rice out to the wing to Benny on the touchline, cuts it inside. Cross comes in, decent ball, but unfortunately overhit again a little bit. That was a decent cross, in fairness, but just slightly overhit. Scamacca was looking to get in the end of it, but unfortunately it carried through to the keeper. And then he falls on the ground, as they do. So with the keeper, and drives it down into the midfield, finds Tony, who loses possession. I'm not sure who got the last touch there, if it was Tony or Bowen. I still can't see who this throw-in's gone to. Bowen got up a bit gingerly. He's feeling his back. I think he'll be okay. Throw-in from Brentford. Cut out initially by Safal and then popped out of play under pressure by Paqueta. So throw in on the left-hand side, just inside our half for Brentford. And Ben Mee will take it. So 38 and a half minutes on the clock. So throw in taken by Brentford, but it's over past. Pass is too strong. It's gone out of play for a goal kick. So Fabianski has it, just lining up. Yeah, this is very frustrating. We're doing some good things, but to be honest with you, it's not enough. In the final third, the quality just hasn't been there. We haven't troubled them nearly enough for the amount of possession and territory that we've dominated. And give away a really scrappy goal, it has to be said. Long ball played on, goes straight through to Ben Mee from Fabianski, who plays it back to the keeper. Under pressure from Bowen, he clears out to the right wing, but cut out by Cresswell. Left wing, excuse me. But we have possession with Rice on the left-hand side, plays it to the centre to Paqueta, plays a first-time ball. Oh, I think he was... Oh, that was a miscommunication. I think he was looking for the run of Safal, who just stopped all of a sudden and made Paqueta look a bit foolish, to be honest, because there was no one near that pass in the end. I think he was expecting Safal to be making that run, out beyond the fullback, which he should have been, but Safal had switched off. So the ball went harmlessly out of play. Okay, so keeper to the right back who hoofs it down the field. Dawson wins the header. It goes out of play for a throw-in. Okay, Ben Mee takes the return pass. It's back with their centre back. Again, they're trying to play the ball out, and we're pressuring. Great interception from Dawson. He finds Paqueta, plays it out to Emerson on the left, who pops it forward to Benny. They're playing it between them. Benny now cutting inside. Pops the ball into the area, diagonal, but again overhits it straight into the keeper's arms. He had Scamacca and Bowen in there, but again, just overhits it. Again, just that final ball, just not good enough. We're just not creating openings. Hoof ball from the keeper. Dawson does really well there again to win it against Ivan Toney. Gives it to Safal, who loses possession to Ben Mee. Possession back with Brentford. And they're popping it around under pressure, and they're playing well, actually. They've done well there to hold possession, Brentford. But they're still well inside their own half. Again, trying to play the ball out. No matter how much pressure we put on them, they still keep trying to play it out, in fairness. And they've done well there. They've passed the ball really well. It's now on the left wing, halfway inside our half. Have it now in midfield in the centre circle. We're working hard, it has to be said. Our players are working hard. They're running a lot. Played out to the right hand wing, but cut out. That's good pressure from us again. We've won the ball back. We've been doing that really well. We've been really good at winning the ball back and working hard to get it back. Paqueta had possession there, was just coming under pressure, and refs giving him the free kick. Brentford player was just nipping at his heels. Out on the left with Emerson, back into Paqueta near the centre circle. He just plays it back to Oggy. He'll play it to Dawson out on this right side. Dawson to Sofel on the sideline, and back to Oggy. So again, we're just knocking the ball about really in our own half here. Ball played forward to Benny, and into Paqueta, back to Benny. Oh, he's misplaced the pass to Benny and put it straight out for a throw in, Paqueta. That was a sloppy one from Paqueta. Can't blame anyone else for that one. Oh, they've played it long, and they're in behind. It's 2-0. That is unbelievable defending. That was a throw-in in midfield. They took a long throw-in. He even caught me on the hop because I didn't expect that. We're 2-0 down. Oh, wow. Wow, this is unbelievably bad. Two absolutely horrible goals to concede. Absolutely horrible. I mean, that is just switching off. They've got a throw in on the halfway line. They take it short. It gets played over the top. Cresswell is left one-on-one with him. Is it Mbuemo his name is? Who completely outmuscles and outpaces him. I mean, Cresswell had a 2-yard head start on him. He just sailed past him. And he was one-on-one all of a sudden. Sorry, it was De Silva. So De Silva was one-on-one all of a sudden. Oh, and he slotted it past Fabianski inside the far post. Just a goal from absolutely nothing. Terrible defending. Absolutely terrible defending. So just to give you a mental picture of it, they've got that throw-in after that sloppy pass from Paqueta. I mean, right on the halfway line. They take it short. It gets flicked over the top in behind, and Cresswell was put in a one-on-one race with De Silva, who's faster and stronger. He had a 2-yard head start on De Silva, and De Silva caught him like that and passed him out, and Cresswell could do absolutely nothing about it, and there was no one else back there. He was just clean through on that right-hand side, inside channel, and slotted it inside the near post. That's shocking defending. Anyway, it's back with us on the right-hand side with Safal looking for an option, switches onto his left, dumps another nothing cross in, gets cleared with ease. It's back with Safal out on this right-hand side. Finds Paqueta, who switches the play over to the left to Cresswell. It's absolutely ridiculous to be 2-0 down in this game. Absolutely ridiculous. Talk about a smash and grab. And we're doing it to ourselves. We really are doing this to ourselves. Okay, Paqueta finds... Oh, he looks for Emerson down the right, but misplaced it. They clear. Rice picks it up. He's out on the left-hand side now. Turns inside, looking for options. Flicks it out to Bowen on the inside right channel. He has Safal out on the sideline. Gives it to him. He has to turn back. Plays it back to Dawson on the inside right channel. Again, it's into Paqueta midfield. Dawson again. Dawson under pressure has to go back to Fabianski. We're just struggling to get through. Just completely struggling to get through. Long ball down. Brentford win it back. And fouled. So free kick for Brentford in their own half. Can't believe we're 2-0 down. Our defence... I mean, and wait till you see these back guys and you see these two goals. You're going to just be shaking your head. Both of them coming from throw-ins. When we should be set defensively and ready to defend. Absolutely shocking. We've had 8 attempts to their 4, and we're 2-0 down. We've had 62% of the possession. We've had almost all the territorial possession. Probably at least 65% territorial possession. It's to be 2-0 down is a disgrace. Okay, Paqueta with the ball in our half. Gives it to Cresswell, who plays it through the middle to Benny. Back to Rice. Rice back to Benny, who cuts inside again. Gives it back to Rice on the return. Rice driving forward into the middle. Pops it to Bowen again on that inside right channel, which is where he's been operating all game. Now shows for Safal down. He's on the right-hand sideline with Bowen. Cuts back onto his left. Puts the ball in. Again, just a shallow pass in, a shallow cross in. No height on it. Cleared easily again by Brentford. Out for a throw-in. Safal will take. Looks like he's going to launch this one. So here he comes, going to launch it. Headed on by Dawson. And headed... We've got it on the edge of the box. Paqueta! Oh, he just hit it with his left. They were struggling they tried to work their way out on the ground, out of their own penalty area there, Brentford, and the ball got nicked away from them by Paqueta, who smart touch onto his left foot, got the shot off, and that was deflected. That went just past the post, and it was deflected. That should be a corner. The deflection almost took that in, but it went wide of the post. Officials have given a free kick, have given a goal kick, which was taken long, and it's half-time. Unbelievable stuff, to be honest. To be 2-0 down in this game is shameful, considering the possession we've had, the territorial advantage we've had. Those 2 goals are absolutely shocking defensively, both coming off of throw-ins. It's ridiculous. We're really struggling to pressure their goal, despite we are getting shots off, but they're just not quality shots. They're all like half chances. We haven't really created anything from open play, clear cut, where you really think this could be a goal. Moyes has got an issue at half time. He's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place here, I think, because we're in certain ways we're playing well. We're dominating the possession. We're working hard. We're closing them down. We're winning the ball back well. We're getting plenty of possession deep in their half, particularly out on the wings. But we're just not opening them up. We're just not opening them up. We're not creating the opportunities to score. And because of our defensive frailties, and that we've conceded two really, really poor goals, we're now in a hole. And how do we get 2-0 hole? The way we're playing, we're not going to. Because if you can't create good openings to score, you're going to have to do something different. So it'll be interesting to see what Moyes does at halftime, to see what he thinks the issue is, because he's not going to want to give up possession and territorial dominance, but we have to start creating chances. We've got to do something. He's got to do something. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any change in formation or any substitutions at halftime to try and remedy this situation. Now, I am going to piss off. I know I've got something here on a loop for the halftime break, because I have really got to go make some tea and go to the toilet. So I'm going to see if I can find that. Okay, I've got my halftime video here. So look, I'll see you all back here for the second half. I'm going to go make a cuppa, and we're in a hole. We're in a big, big hole. So let's see if we can get out of this one with something. Talk to you soon.
Hello, everybody. You all right? Thought I'd come on. What the hell's going on here, eh? Seriously, what's going on? Let me just switch this up. That's better. That's better. Hello?
Russie B, I was wondering who was messing about. I thought my computer was haunted. Right, I'm going to go live again here shortly for the second half.
I think we're already live, mate.
Huh? Are you sunning yourself somewhere? Hello, welcome back. Fucking hell. What a shit show. What a shit show. All right, let's do this. I've been to loo and I've got my tea. Let me see. I don't see any changes. I think we've got the same team. Oh, we've got Russie B. Hello.
Hello.
Say hi to everyone in the chat.
Hello to everyone in the chat.
So, you have signed yourself in Florida, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still here. Beautiful weather.
Yeah. So
Beautiful weather.
You watched the first half, I take it?
Of course I did, Tommy. Of course I did. And I thought, oh, I've got to come on and help you out for a little bit while Mrs. Budden is sunbathing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously it's not on live over here, so I'm having to use other means. So you might be ahead of me.
Don't worry.
So I'll just keep describing what's happening for the chat because they can't see it. So okay, so we have the ball with Cresswell out on this left-hand side, level with the box, playing it between him and Emerson. Benny's out there as well. Intercepted, one back by Brentford, who are breaking. Tony breaking across the middle of the field. Rice with a brilliant tackle to win possession back. Absolutely top-class tackle from Rice. And he's driving forward through the midfield now and plays a diagonal ball out to Bowen out on the sideline on the right-hand side. He's going to drive at the full-back, who has help now. Oh, slips the ball past the defender and goes down. He's appealing.
No, that's on the box.
Referee's given a free kick or a penalty?
Free kick.
He's given something a free kick.
Yeah.
He was driving. I want to see exactly where that. Oh, I tell you what. See, that's. Oh, that is borderline. That. Oh, that is just outside. Oh, that is. Oh yeah, that is about 6 inches outside the penalty area. Absolute foul. 100% foul from Ben Mee. Ref has given the free kick. Promising position. Bowen's still feeling the effects of that. He's walking a bit gingerly there. He did get hit on the ankle. He's got a little bit of blood coming from his right knee as well. Nothing major, just a little scrape, but that's not going to be an issue. But he'll walk that off, Bowen. So, yeah, this is a really good position.
Yep.
We're taking a look at it, but it will be a free kick just outside the penalty area on that right-hand side. Promising position here. I assume Cresswell will. You think left footer from here or right footer? What do you think?
Right footer, probably.
Himself maybe, or
yeah, I think right footer.
Yeah, so Sofel and Bowen are taking an interest in this. So either one of them could hit this. Bowen, if you want to go left foot in swinger. Sofel, if you want to swing it outwards. So promising position. It'll be interesting to see if we can make something of this. Still waiting for this to be taken. It's Sofel jumps over it, in by Bowen, just drives it low. Complete waste.
Yep.
Complete waste of a free kick. He just drove it along the ground towards the near post, and of course it was cut out very easily by Brentford. And then a fight for possession after they cleared it. We had to go all the way back to Fabianski. And now it's booted downfield by Fabianski, and it's with the Brentford fullback who pops it back to their keeper. Almost left him short. Skamaka was sniffing after that. But they keep possession. Now they've got it in the middle of the field. Ball played through. That's a good ball down the left-hand side into the centre to Tony. Oh, his touch was poor. And it was cleared. Benny has it down the right wing. Tries to beat his marker, but he's been dispossessed. And actually is then given away a free kick. Oh, that was a dangerous counter-attack, Russ.
It was. I think Cresswell actually did well to recover with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was just a little bit of a heavy touch from Tony, which
Yeah.
allowed Cresswell to step in and nick it away.
But they can just cut through us whenever they want defensively. That's what they've done all day.
Yeah, I mean, basically they can play on the counter now, can't they?
Yeah. I was listening to the half time here so I'm actually watching it on USA, which is nice. And Danny Higginbottom's there, like pundit, and he spoke to Thomas Frank yesterday, interviewed him, and he told him the game plan, which is basically let West Ham have the ball and hit them on the counter attack, and basically do what West Ham have been doing for the last 2.5 years to teams. And he says it's worked perfectly. And he made a really good point, actually. Where we were always very much happy for the opposition to have 70%, 60% possession for the last couple of years and be on the counter-attack. It's almost like the opposition have cottoned on to that and just let us have the ball, knowing full well that they can just counter-attack. And it was a really good point. I don't like Danny Higginbottom as a person, but it actually made sense once. So, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting to get an American perspective, like the American TV perspective of it as well.
Yeah. So at the moment, we've got possession again in Brentford's half, probing on the left-hand side. It's not really going anywhere, and they've nicked it back in one possession, and they'll counter-attack again. This is perfect for Brentford, Russ. I mean, like you say, they can just sit back. All the pressure is on off us. The more time passes, the more desperate we become, and the more risks we have to take, which opens us up even more to the counter-attack. I mean, tactically, this is absolutely perfect for them.
Yeah, they can sit back now, and the more sort of nervous we'll get, the more misplayed passes we'll have, the more the crowd will be up on their backs. Yeah. So it's Brentford can walk this next 40 minutes, something like that now. In
the meantime, Bowen was fouled. It's about 30 yards out, just to the right of centre of the penalty area. So another chance to put a good ball in. Yeah. It's maybe 26 to 28 yards, something like that. It's not really in direct shot range. It's on the edge of direct shot range. I mean, it would have to be an amazing free kick to go in directly from here. Cresswell is over it, though, as is Benny. Lots of people lined up on the edge of the box. This really needs to be indirect. I mean, Cresswell is good at these, but, when they're just outside the box, Cresswell goes direct and just sails over the bar harmlessly. Just a very poor decision. I don't know why he's done that. Going direct from there it's a very low percentage chance that really just needed to be clipped into the box. So for goal kick for Brentford. Keeper hoofs it long. Bit of pinball in there. Brentford win possession. Got it on the right-hand side. Hopped into the centre. They're not really pressing too hard here. Brentford are being patient. Ball clipped around the corner, but it's overhit, and Cresswell can just see it out for a goal kick. The thing is that they haven't really hurt us on the counter-attack, even though that's what they've been trying, Russ. Both of their goals came from throw-ins and really sloppy defending.
Yeah. But they haven't needed to get out of second gear, to be in all honesty. I mean, I thought we pretty much dominated the first half completely, apart from, as you said, a couple of defensive errors caused. Or the thing is, they know at the back. I mean, you watch them, and again, there was something they were picking out is the number 19. Obviously, him and Tony up front, and the amount of times that he's sort of drops, and then 19 and Boa, I can't pronounce his name properly, but he drops off, and then Antonio and Bonner sort of follows him, which means leaves a massive gap in the back for De Silva to run through or Tony to run through, knowing full well that they're going to beat Cresswell and Dawson in a race, aren't they?
So there was actually just a very silly foul from Declan Rice there. De Silva was driving down the right-hand side. He had, I think, Benny and Bowen surrounding him, shepherding him right out towards the sideline, and then Declan Rice just came right through the back of him and gave away a free kick. So they've got a free kick now. This could be dangerous. Completely unnecessary.
He
was going down a cul-de-sac.
He does that quite a bit, Declan.
Yeah, so ball comes in. Decent one, headed clear by Skamaka. Over to the far side, Dawson chases it down, plays it down the wing to Sofal, plays it inside to Rice. He'll bring it out now, plays it to Paqueta. Paqueta will swing it out to this left-hand side to Emerson in midfield. He's coming forward now, will cut back, play it back infield to Paqueta, and Paqueta into the centre to Rice. Back out now to the left to Cresswell, to Emerson. Inside again. It's just kind of triangles here, not really going anywhere again. Cresswell's running in field now, into the middle field, pops it off to Dawson, out now to Bowen on the inside right, cuts inside into Paqueta centrally. He swings it out to the left to Emerson, cuts inside, a little bit of space, tries a shot. It was horrible. It was a soft pass in the end, which is cleared by the defender up for a throw-in, taken quickly by Cresswell. Does a 1-2 with Rice. Cresswell now just popping it back to Ogbonna. I was saying there at half-time, just summarising, I don't know if you heard any of it, Ross, but we've got lots of possession, lots of territorial advantage, and have done really nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. They've been able to defend comfortably, in all truth.
They just let us have the ball.
Yeah,
that's what they've done. I mean, we've got
something here. That's a poor effort. We caught them in possession. They were a little bit sloppy trying to bring the ball out, Brentford. We won the ball back. It fell for Bowen. It was a poor clearance that Bowen got on top of and was driving forward. Was fouled, actually. His arm was pulled, which should have been advantage. He got the shot off, but it was a weak shot along the ground that the keeper could have thrown his hat on, but the ref never brought it back for the free kick, which I thought he should have, Russ.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is Brentford let us have the ball.
They let us have the ball. Probably
the stats will say,
do nothing with it.
Exactly. I think we had about 66-70% possession, and Brentford are just doing what we've been doing for the last 2.5 years, and we were successful. Just let us have the ball. Knowing we haven't got that penetration to sort of make it count. So they just put men behind the ball, and we could say we're unlucky. Rice hit the post in the first 5 minutes. Their keeper had a save in the first 10 minutes, but apart from that, they haven't really scared them in that final third.
No, they're making a double substitution now as well.
Yeah, they're looking to tie it up now.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and get a little bit more of a chokehold in midfield if they can. Okay, they've got a throw in, and now they've played a 1-2, hoofed it down the line, flicked on for Tony. He's on the edge of the box, plays it centrally. Oh, they try to drive through, but Cresswell clears it out for a throw-in on this right-hand side. So another little bit of danger there.
Yeah, he's a dangerous man.
Brentford are just taking their time over everything now. It's only in the 59th minute. Brentford are just slowing everything down now. Moyes still has not made any changes.
No. Nope.
Okay, Brentford with the throw in on the edge of our box. Plays it back to De Silva, who swings one in, but it's a poor low cross. Cleared easily by Bonner down the field. Keeper comes out. Tries to play it out to the left-hand side to Ben Mee, but overhits it straight out for a throw in the midfield. They've got a player down.
Yeah, it kicked off, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him.
Looks like Scarmack has twatted him behind the ear.
Oh. He's looking at the replay. Skamaka was running past him and he cut across Skamaka's path to try and obstruct him, and Skamaka gave him a cheeky little
to
get past him. There's nothing much in it. It was just petulant more than anything. Possibly we'll get a yellow. I don't know if anyone saw it or if VAR will interfere, but a yellow at worst. He might get away with it. It was off the ball. But yeah, we're still waiting for Moyes to do something. I mean, he sent the team out in the same formation, same 11.
Yeah.
And even now we're in the 60th minute. Clearly, it's not working.
I think the trouble is we look at the stats and think it is working, isn't it? Because of the possession, but it's a scoreline that matters, and the amount of times we've won games, won with by the odd goal, and we've only had 30% possession.
Yeah, do you think Ross there's any situation where he would go two up top? Well, I mean, surely now there's a very, very strong case to be made for putting Antonio up there with Skamaka.
Yeah, I think you would. I think that like now, surely.
Surely you get Antonio up there, and we need, well, getting, as things stand, we're not getting back in this game whatsoever. There's absolutely no signs of us getting back in this.
And you'll probably end up taking Skamaka off because he's getting a bit hot-headed. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. It's like it's frustrating. Yeah.
Complete waste of time. Don't worry, folks. You're not missing anything. The ball's with Fabianski. He's playing it out to the right to Cresswell. The left, excuse me. Into Paqueta. Cresswell, who leaves it for Emerson. This is the same thing I've been talking this way on the commentary since the game began, Ross, and it's still the same thing. Lots of possession. We're moving the ball about, probing, but really just going nowhere, creating no openings. And still Moyes is on that sideline with his neck on the line. Still, he won't put Antonio up top with Skamaka.
I think he's coming on now. I think he's going to be coming on in a minute, Antonio. I think they're going to go two up front.
We have to.
Yeah, they're doing it. They're going to do it. I think
even though it's Moyes, it's inconceivable that this is going to be a direct swap for Skamaka. Inconceivable.
No, it's not. It's what's name's coming on? Crystal. Emerson's coming. Come on. Come on, call for Antonio. They're playing two up front.
Yeah,
last half out.
It still smacks of too little, too late, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the odds. I mean, when do we score 3 goals? Okay, the Brentford are breaking down the left-hand side. Ball played into the centre. Poor ball straight to Fabianski. Again, another potentially dangerous situation, but it was a poor ball. We're trying to play out from the back here, and they're pressing. So Fabianski has to boot it down the field. Bowen beaten to it by me, and then Safal fouls. Yeah, this is looking unlikely, folks, at the moment. I just think even now, Russ, even if by some miracle we got back to 2-2, I mean, a point at home in our situation just is not enough.
It's not, but it's one of those things where, as a team, regardless of who's in the dugout, a point it's something out of the game rather than nothing. And we need something. We've got a real, I hate to say easy run of games, but we're not playing anyone in the top, top bit for a while, and we need some momentum. And even if a 2-goal, say it goes to 2-2, come back, say Skamaka scores or whatever, that will breed confidence going into the Leeds game. We need something, because otherwise it's going to be more of the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take it. Don't get me wrong.
No.
I'd love a comeback. Okay, well, let's just see how it goes. There was a chance there for Antonio to slip Skamaka in, but he's wearing his lead boots and completely overhit the pass.
In that situation, that's where Skamaka needs to be, and Antonio needs to be where Skamaka is.
Yeah, the only problem is Antonio would miss the 1-on-1.
Yeah, good point. But at least he'd get the pass in, because Skamaka would be able to play him in like he did.
We need somehow for Skamaka to be get on the end of his own through ball.
Yes, yeah. Some sort of quantum leap.
All right. Excuse me. Argue with possession inside their half. Brentford happy to just sit back and soak this up because we just haven't been able to threaten them. They're comfortable, so they'll happily do this the rest of the game and feel confident that we won't score. Declan Rice with the ball, pops it into Paqueta. Paqueta slips it out to Dawson, who decides to have a crack from 25 yards, and it's the kind of shot you would expect from a centre-back. Keeper just waving at it as it passes well wide of the post. Yeah. Oh, Dawson just completely sliced it. It was about, 6-7 yards wide and bounced. It was, I suppose I'm going to go right ahead and assume we lose this game, Russ.
Yep.
I don't think he's getting sacked.
No, I don't think he is.
I don't think he's getting sacked. I know a lot of people might expect it because it's another loss. I think it's 5 losses in the Premier League now in a row. And 6 of our last 7, isn't it, lost?
Yeah.
So normally that would get you sacked, and it should get him sacked. I still think he'll be our manager for the Leeds game. You know that?
Yeah, I think so. It was quite. I think it was. Was it Shane said from the Athletic that he said in one of his articles that he was unsure if Moyes would be in the dugout for the next time we play Brentford, which is obviously the FA Cup next week. Next week. I don't think he'll be sacked. I don't think they'll sack him. Based on today, no, I don't think they will. It's frustrating because it's just like as you said, we've played some like today, a couple of defensive errors, but we haven't really looked like scoring. I think we've had the possession, we've played some nice touches, nice through balls, but that final ball, that final third, again, it's what we've been missing. It wasn't what's all season so far. It's that final third.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't stretched them at the back whatsoever.
No.
We haven't really pulled anyone out of position. We haven't created any holes in their defence. They've been comfortable defensively. Again, the ball just went out to Sofel. He just dumped the ball in the box. Antonio went up for it but was climbing. So free kick to Brentford. I know I'm not commentating as much as I was in the first half, guys, but you're actually missing nothing. Possession is really just toing and froing between the two teams. Neither side are creating anything. Both sides are just working hard off the ball and winning it back. And it's just, there's really nothing that you're missing at the moment. We're approaching the 70th minute. And I don't know, looking at the bench, would you want to maybe get another technical player in there, maybe try and get Lanzini on, see if he can find a pass from somewhere or score one of his...
I think it's more who... I mean, now 20 minutes to go, it's about just getting things, just trying to get some balls into the box It's almost like you want to bring your man on big potato salad just to get him up there, just to throw something up there. Because I think technically we haven't done it for 70 minutes. We're not going to change. Someone like Anzini's not going to change it. The only way you change it is by bringing on and just lumping it in there. It's not exciting, but we need something in the box just to disrupt the people. It's having another technical player is going to be the same as what we've been doing for the last 70. Hasn't worked. Just lump it in there now. Just get some balls in the box and just try and dominate physically. It's
Well, Brentford have got a free kick here just outside the box, just to the left of the D. A foul by Sofal. So it's about, I want to say 20 yards out. A little harsh. I'm just looking at the replays here, Russ.
Yeah, it was a harsh one.
Yeah, I'm not sure he did a whole lot wrong there, but they've got it anyway. It's just on the left-hand edge of the D, about 20 or so yards, 20, 21 yards. So this will be direct. This will be a shot on goal. I don't know who they've got that's really good at free kicks.
Tony
might have a go at this. Yeah. He's certainly hovering around it. I can't see who the other player is. Janelt. He's the others. Is that De Silva and Janelt? Janelt came on off the bench. Just come off the bench. So I don't know which one of these is going to have a go here, but I couldn't tell you who their free kick takers are, specialists are. I think that's De Silva that looks like he's going to have a pop at this. Is it De Silva? Is it?
No, he's off. That's Tony.
Is it Tony? Excuse me, Ivan Tony.
Oh my God.
Shot comes in, blocked by the wall, rebounds. Oh, that brought a smart save from Fabianski. It hit the wall and rebounded, and I couldn't see who hit the second effort. But Fabianski scrambling towards his left-hand post, and he turned it around the post. It was a good save, actually, because it came through a few bodies. That took a deflection off Rice as he tried to block it, and it's a full stretch save from Fabianski to turn it around the post. So, corner for Brentford. This is their fourth. We've only had one. So nothing came of that. Ball came over the top, past the far post, and I think it may have been Tony who swung a foot at it, but he bounced it into the ground and wide. Long ball down the right to Antonio. He can't win it. Brentford are getting a stranglehold here, Ross, it must be said.
Yeah, well, they're just tight. I mean, they're doing a professional job on it, isn't it? That's what
Brentford are starting to play a more possession-based game now. Ball headed on by Dawson. This is dangerous. Pulled back. Janult. He can't get the shot off. Yeah, I think we've just got enough numbers back now to defend, but that we were in danger there for a second on the break. Looked like they would get a shot off and goal. So they're just probing on the edge of the box. Ball slipped out to Rice. Now to Benny out on the left wing. He's driving forward. He's at the halfway line. Cuts back into Rice, who comes over the halfway line. Plays it just inside to Paqueta in the centre circle. He moves it on to the right-hand side. And back to Paqueta. And again now, slow, very slow again. They've got everyone back. Still with Paqueta. Plays it to the centre to Rice. He cuts inside, trying to make some room, but shepherded well. He can only play it out to Sofal. Takes the touch. He sends the cross in. Cleared. Skamaka was hanging about looking for it, but cleared well again by Brentford. It's out with Benny on the right now. He swings the ball in. Flicked on, but I'm not sure if it was a West Ham player or a Brentford player. There were a couple of them challenging for that. It was flicked on, well beyond the far post, and I think it's a goal kick. So obviously it was maybe Antonio. I think they got the header on that, but again, didn't threaten the keeper at all. Now I've got the volume down. Obviously, because I'm talking here on this live stream, so I don't really know what the mood is like in the ground. I can't hear if there's any groans or any boos. I
Yeah.
am starting to see some people head for the exits already.
Yeah. They did boo.
It's
They
not
did
an
boo the
exodus
side
just
off
yet,
at
but
half time.
some people are heading that way already. The first few were fed up. Free kick for Brentford, played over the top into the box, cleared first by Oggy and then Cresswell. That's out for a throw-in or just inside Brentford's half for us on this left-hand side. Okay, throw-in goes into the centre. Paqueta plays it through the centre to Scamacca, who turns and hits an absolute rifle of a shot. Now, it was straight at the keeper, but there was so much heat on that shot that he could only parry it. And Leeds had to hook it clear for a throw-in, which is taken quickly. Benny has it now on the right-hand side. Back to Rice, into the centre against Paqueta. He flicks the ball into the box to Benny, but he just can't get control of it. And it's headed back to the keeper. That was a stinging shot from Scamacca from distance.
He does do them, doesn't he? He does have the power.
21, 22 yards. Keeper couldn't hold it, even though it was straight at him. He couldn't hold it. That could have gone anywhere. It almost fell to Antonio, but Brentford just about managed to hook it clear. So that was just a snapshot, really, from Scamacca that could have led
out of frustration. That shot looked
it was just a frustrated effort, wasn't it? He just turned and spanked it. Ball's in the centre circle with Antonio driving forward, cuts inside a little, takes on the shot himself and completely mishits it.
There's the difference.
So badly, he was able to get back on the end of it.
That's the difference in those two strikers.
Wide of the left-hand post. Macca's just starting to hit them from anywhere now out of frustration.
Yeah, he's had enough.
That was funny, actually. It was a little embarrassing for Antonio. He cut in onto his right foot, tried the shot, and he hit the ball with his standing foot as he set up to shoot and just knocked it forward a few yards and was able to get on the end of it again and popped it off to Scamacca, who hit it from about 30 yards, but it was well wide of the far post. So the keeper just drives it forward. So a bit of pinball here in the middle of the field. Both teams trying to secure possession. Neither of them able to do it yet. But Brentford finally get the ball down, but then end up just hoofing it forward again. Safel and Tony both fall over, but refs says play on. Dawson tries to bring it out, but he gets dispossessed. So Brentford have the ball back in midfield, and they're driving forward now. It's out to the left-hand wing, lots of space. They can put this in the box. Looking for Tony, goes beyond him to the far post. Cut back again for Tony, who turns, gets the shot off. But it was a weak shot that just fell kindly. It wasn't Tony, excuse me. I don't know who that is. But it was a weak shot that just went straight to Fabianski along the ground. Benny now has it on the left edge of the area, driving, but gets shepherded out of play, just gets muscled out of play as he tried to go past whoever the hell that was. I don't know any of these Brentford players, really, to be honest.
Mark of a good team, isn't it, when you don't know the individuals? They're a good collective team.
We still haven't had any more changes.
Nope.
By the way, from Moyes, he just brought on Antonio for Emerson. That's it. Yeah, the camera now has panned up to Sullivan up in the box. I think the suggestion being that he might have had enough. I don't think he has yet. Brentford with the ball in midfield. Out to the left-hand wing. They're just popping it around at the moment, trying to create an opening down that left-hand side. But Sofel intercepts and puts it out for a throw-in. This is an astonishing lack of action from Moyes, I have to say. We're in the 79th minute. Still has only made that one change. He's still looking at a team showing absolutely no signs of getting back in this game. He's having lots of chats on the sideline with his coaching staff, but as yet has still only made that one change with going 2 up top, which was the right change to make. It came too late, far too late, in my opinion. But still needs to do more here. Even now, this is not working, even with Antonio and Scamacca up there. We haven't created a single decent chance for either one. So the ball's out on the right-hand side with Safel, who drives forward and again dumps across into the box, but easily dealt with and cleared for a throw-in. Really, all the crosses that have come in have just been garden variety crosses. They haven't been put on anyone's head. They've all been contested. They've just been dumped in the box, Ross, and they're contested every time.
That's what it is. It's almost like being told, just get it in the box, get it in the box, get it in the box. There's been they haven't picked out a man.
Yeah. And again, the ball is just pinballing around at the moment, around their box, but we secure possession. Paqueta has it. Tries to find Rice, but it's intercepted. And now a long ball played down for Tony, who has it on the right-hand side. He's coming in field looking for a pass. Tried to play a pass through, but overhit it. Goes through to Fabianski. May have been offside anyway. This is absolutely dreadful stuff from us, I have to say. The positives for us tonight, such as they are.
Another substitution's coming. Get ready, Tom. There's been another substitution. Your mate, Potato Salad's going to be coming on, I think.
Yeah. Okay, so Safel on the right, trying to dump another ball in, but it's blocked by his marker out for a corner. So Bowen will go over and take this. We've had so much possession, Ross. And we've had a lot of possession in their half of the field, plenty of it in the final third. And it's actually quite shocking how few good opportunities we've created. Ball in, Dawson on the end of it. Oh, that's a good header. Back away it came from Dawson. And Raya, the keeper, was able to tip it over the bar. A smart save, but,
standard
one the keeper will always make, really. Just had to get his hand up and push it over the bar. So here we go again. Bowen sending the ball in. Same area. Dawson on the end of it again, but this time, was it Dawson? No, I think someone else got a hit on that. It's another corner on the other side this time. Dawson was on the end of it, but maybe it got deflected after that. Okay, Thomas Souček is coming on. Yeah, he scores loads of goals. This should turn it around. Yeah, I think now basically the fact that Souček's coming on, it's basically dump it in the box. Paqueta's off, by the way. Dump it in the box and let's see if Souček can get on the end of something. It's just desperation at times. There we go. Ball out to the far post. But Bowen went for the volley at the far post from the cross. But he was offside.
I think the ball actually went out from Cresswell.
Oh, did he? Oh, was it a goal kick? Did Cresswell slice the ball out?
Yeah, I thought he put the wrong.
I was thinking that, I saw the flag being
there might be that
straight out with the arm like that, and I thought he'd given offside. Okay, Brentford have possession in our half in the middle of the field. They're just knocking it about now, Brentford. They're not obviously, 80 coming up on 83 minutes in a few seconds. So they're obviously not too pushed about scoring at this point. They'll be happy now just to make sure they maintain their 2-goal leads, so they don't have a squeaky time at the end if we can pull one back. But at the moment, there's absolutely no signs of us scoring whatsoever.
That's no chance. There's no glimmer, is there today?
No. We've not created any good open scoring opportunities from open play. We've had some half chances. That's about it, really. We're in possession in their final third. Benny has out in the wing. drives towards the dead ball line, but he's well marshalled. Plays it back to Cress. First time ball in and too short, and first defender is able to head it out, and Brentford pick it up, but a sloppy pass sends it over the sideline for a throw in. Cress will take. Yeah. And back to Rice into the centre to Souček. I'm not sure what exactly Souček's supposed to do other than try and get on the end of something in the box. He's driving in towards there now, hoping to get a cross in. Bowen has it, cuts back inside, trying to find some space. Oh, God, that's awful. Bowen cut back inside, trying to get a yard of space, eventually puts the cross in and completely overhits it out of play for a goal kick. Terrible ball. This is really poor. Considering the possession and territory we've enjoyed, Russ. I mean, to create so little. Yeah. I haven't seen the shots on target, but even I know we have. It will show that we've had a handful of shots on target, but none of them were clear goal scoring opportunities.
Yeah, I mean they
Dawson, will go down as a shot on target, but it was literally just tipped over the bar by the keeper. It was routine stuff. Anything he's had to deal with has been pretty routine. We've never stretched the keeper. He hasn't had to make a single really good save.
No, you're right. And I think they had a thing about, I think it was, they called it final third entries or something like that on the K-up as a stat. It was like 40. I think we had like 50 final third entries to about 30 of Brentford. But that just shows that we've got more possession. Nothing about actually clear-cut chances.
Yeah. Okay, we've won the ball back with Antonio. Tries to play it square, but gets blocked. They just hoof it down the field. Brentford really not showing any interest in scoring at this point. They're just keeping everyone back, really. Just happy now to see this out, which is fair enough in the 87th minute.
Yeah, totally.
So they're allowing us to have possession, kind of happy in the knowledge that they're defending comfortably and that we're not really able to produce any clear-cut opportunities. Ball's back out on the right. It's a foul who for some reason tries to cut in field instead of just shifting onto his right and put it in the box. Back to Dawson, who does play it in the box again. Poor ball in, very low, headed out with ease. Brentford play it out, but we win possession. Rice again, centre field, coming forward, tries to slip it through to Skamaka. Misplaced. They clear again. So this is us probing and them clearing the ball, basically. Our balls in the box are not particularly good. Out on the left with Cress, who'll swing one in. Again, not a great ball. Antonio challenged for it, but they clear it with ease again. This is real basic stuff. We're basically just hit and hope crosses at this point.
Yep.
Always into traffic. They've got loads of people back there, and we're not going to get any clear hitters or shots on target this way. Antonio out on the right-hand side. Plays it back to Sofel. He shifts it onto his right. Dumps another cross in. Dealt with ease again. Out to this left-hand side to Cresswell. Plays it into Rice. He swings one in. Keeper comes and collects easily. Overhit that one. Rice went straight through to the keeper. So this is really, really poor stuff, it has to be said. We're completely out of... Well, we never really had any ideas. That's the problem, Ross, isn't it? It's that point in the game where you usually say a team has run out of ideas. But to be frank, we didn't really ever have any ideas. We were never really able to open them up, no matter how much possession territory we had.
No, it was the
perfect blueprint, really, wasn't it, from Thomas Frank? Just let them have the ball. We're going to be able to defend against them.
Yeah.
And then we'll hit them on the counter. And that's really how it's panned out. Albeit they hit us with two kind of throw-ins, essentially, that caught us off guard, which both were horrible defending. We're just dumping the box still, by the way, and getting absolutely nowhere with it. Benny on the left here, cuts in on his right, pops it to Rice. He'll pop it out to Cress. They're closing down. We haven't got an opportunity to cross yet. Back to Rice, back to Albana, to Dawson. Just shifting it across now. Bowen, Antonio, edge of the box, plays it to Safal. He might get across in here. Gets blocked out for a corner. So another corner for Bowen to take. This is probably our best opportunity. Dawson has looked dangerous on the crosses, and obviously we've got Socek in there now as well. So maybe one of those can pull something back for us. Kamaka still in there, obviously a big lad. So in it comes Bowen, decent delivery again, but everyone runs towards the ball and overruns it, and it just bounces out of play on the far side of the corner flag.
Ivan Toney's gone down injured.
And Ivan Toney's down and feeling his leg. No doubt he'll be taking his time. This has been really comfortable for Brentford, it has to be said.
Yeah, they pretty much, as we said, they had a game plan. They knew we were going to have to. They knew West Ham were going to come out of the blocks because first game back with the crowd, needed to get a performance, and they just soaked it all up, kept a high line, put 8 men behind the ball, and they're going to get us on the counter attack. Looks like either Toney might be stretchered off. It looks quite nice.
Yeah, it's not looking too clever for Toney. It looks like I suspect because he challenged in the air for that ball with Dawson, and I suspect this might have been the way he landed. That he may have turned his ankle or twisted his knee or something when he landed.
Looks like it, yeah. Or it looks like he's just caught Dawson in the back of not intentional at all by Dawson, but it looks like he's caught the back of his leg, maybe of his training leg.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see in the replay here. Well, I don't know. I'm wondering, did that happen on the landing or? Yeah, he looks in trouble. To be honest, he's in a lot of pain. I think he might. Oh, he could have done his knee here.
The way he's punching the pitch. Looks like it.
Yeah, I think Ivan Toney might have busted his knee here. This could be. We could be in ACL territory here.
Looks like it. Stretcher's coming on now. So
yeah. Yes, he's gonna be stretchered up. Yeah, this is not good for Brentford, and it's not something you want to see.
No.
He's a player I really like, Ivan Toney, and.
It looks like his leg buckles. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when he landed, his leg just buckled or something, and so
he goes for his knee straight away.
Yeah, he's banging trouble. I'll tell you what, if this turns out to be ACL and he's out for months, I would be wanting to get that ban going as quickly as possible, wouldn't you? If it's like if it's a big ban, just get it over and done with now and get him banned for however many games because he's going to miss them anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. You never like to see that on players, do you?
No, you definitely don't like to see that. Great player Ivan Toney, and I mean this is a massive blow for Brentford. This is a massive blow for Brentford to lose Ivan Toney to a potentially very serious injury. I hope it's not as serious as it looks.
But the only saving grace is they haven't given him oxygen. Usually, when he's in a lot of pain, they give him some sort of the oxygen to ease the pain a little bit. But he's
Yeah, I'm just looking at this replay again. He came out to challenge Dawson. Yeah, it looks really innocuous.
That's the worst ones, though, isn't it? The innocuous ones.
I don't think it's not even the leg he landed on.
It's his back leg, isn't it? It looks like
he landed. He came down. So he came to challenge Dawson in the air. He came down. He landed on his left foot, but then he went down holding his right leg. So that's a strange one because it seemed like that leg was in the air, Ross.
It did. It looked like it did tangle up slightly with Dawson. Maybe, as you said, the innocuous ones are the ones which are the bad ones because you can't see. There's no obvious reason why he went down, and So that for me means internal stuff.
I'll tell you what, that stadium looks bloody empty now, Russ.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'd have got him early tonight.
Yeah, a lot of people took off early. Obviously, like I said, I don't have my volume on, but there's going to be a lot of boos at the end of this game.
Yeah,
For whoever's left will be booing.
Yeah,
that this has not been good enough.
No.
To have this much possession and territory at home and not be able to score a goal. And to be honest, I mean, this is the blueprint now, Ross, isn't it, for teams? Like Leeds won't play like this. Leeds will come at us.
Oh yeah, Leeds will.
Leeds will try to score
goals. But then Jesse Marsch is is a slightly more different player, different manager than Bielsa. So they'll be looking at this. This is the blueprint. I mean, it's not like it's not like a hidden surprise. Things have been doing this to us all season.
I mean, this is going to be the blueprint for teams when they come to the London Stadium.
Yeah, and they have been doing it already.
Apart from the teams maybe that are at the top there that fancy they can just come and beat us anyway. But
yeah,
for any other team outside of the big guns, they'll just sit back and play on the counter, and we'll figure that we're not going to score.
Crystal Palace did exactly the same thing with us just before the break, didn't they? We had so much possession, and they hit us with a couple of sucker punchings, and got the winner right at the end, didn't they? So,
yeah. I don't know about that, E. Davis. I think losing Ivan Toney is a massive blow for Brentford. Absolutely massive. He's vital to the way they play. This is a massive loss for them. Nothing happening at the moment, lads. Dawson just dumping a long ball in. Again, not troubling us whatsoever. Headed clear. And now Brentford can bring the ball out. They're just trying to hold on to the ball here. Just trying to keep possession. So they've got it in our half now. And just played out of play. He tried to play the ball off one of our players to get a sneaky throw in, but he missed him and it went out for a goal kick. Was taken quickly and launched down towards Antonio, who wins it but can only send it to Brentford player, but they cough the ball back to Ogbonna straight away. Poor attempt at a through ball. Rice in the centre circle, coming forward. Plays it out to Sofal. Has Bowen with him, pops it through to him. He pops it back to Rice. We're just going through the motions here, folks. It's just played across here to the other side to Benny on the touchline. Got two players with him. Cuts inside. Clips the ball to Bowen on the D, but he gets dispossessed. And now Bowen wins it back. Plays it to Antonio, edge of the box. Antonio tries the shot. Poor shot that gets blocked easily by the man in front of him. Has it in the right wing. Dumped into the box. Headed clear with ease. You get the picture, folks. Again, out with Antonio, trying to work an opportunity for a cross. Really poor one with his left foot straight to the keeper at the near post. So, this is just really clueless stuff, really. Clueless stuff from the players, clueless stuff from Moyes. How the board could possibly justify continuing with this. This is 5 losses in a row in the Premier League, 6 losses in our last 7. Final whistle's gone, 2-0 at home to Brentford. Completely unacceptable. Just what's your thoughts on that, Ross?
The crowd. It was the crowd that were left booed. I just had it on quickly so I could just see. I mean, Moyes is, he looks a beaten man. You know what I mean? He just where I can't really see any positives out today. There were no positives out today. The only positive was no one's got injured. That's the only positive, I think. Although even that, I think Bowen took a knock, and he seemed to be holding it quite a bit during the last 10 minutes or so. But that's the only positives really. Is no one's got injured, but that's it. Very poor.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are going to be waiting on with bated breath tomorrow, Russ. Probably a lot of people may be hoping and expecting that we'll get the news that he's been relieved of his duties. I don't expect that to happen. I expect Moyes to be the manager for the Leeds game. I think that's another game that we're going to lose. And it's just depressing now.
Yeah.
I can't even get. I'll tell you, this is where I'm at now, Russ. I can't even get angry now, and I'm not gonna go on Twitter complaining about Moyes because Moyes is Moyes, and this is exactly what I expected when we came back from the break. I expected it to be exactly the same. I never believed that Moyes could turn this around. But the board had an opportunity when we broke for the World Cup to change things up, to get rid of him, get a new manager in, essentially give the new manager a pre-season with the players, get things set up the way he wanted it before we even played another game against Arsenal. They decided instead that they were going to put their weight behind David Moyes and back him. So as far as I'm concerned, everything that happens from that point on is on the board and not David Moyes. David Moyes is not going to fall on his sword, and we can't expect him to. He's not going to throw away that kind of money that he will get if he's sacked, the payoff. And he will always believe that he can turn it around. He can't. As far as I'm concerned, everything that happens from now on, like since the Arsenal game on, is on the board. They're carrying the can now, as far as I'm concerned. And I think any vitriol, any criticism now should be leveled directly at the feet of the board, who decided to back him and allow this to continue. I don't care about Moyes anymore. Moyes is just Moyes. This is what we're going to get. From now on, as far as I'm concerned, Russ, the board now are carrying the can for all of this.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I mean, for me, it's like nothing's changed over the last 2.5 years. As a team, as a formation, as an 11, nothing had changed. And then there was this massive step change in the summer, and it's almost happened too late for anything to happen with it. So it's frustrating. It's frustrating. I've said it a million times. We have been through a lot worse. We've been through a lot worse. We're West Ham fans, and I'll be interested to see what happens. I'm interested to see. I mean, we know what the comments are going to come out with. We were unlucky. We had possession and but at the end of the day, we had bugger all shots on target. Really, Deck hit the post in the first 5 minutes, but that's really it. The other saves from Raya was relatively well. Any goalkeeper could save them. To be honest, it wasn't. We didn't trouble them at all, and whoever is in the dugout always gets my support, because, as you said, that's I'm a West Ham fan. I never go into a game wanting them to lose, for someone to lose their job or anything like that. So, see, we're West Ham fans. We know we all moan, we all complain, we all say, we all get pissed off, but we know come Leeds we'll switch on and watch a game again, won't we? Because we're West Ham fans.
I'm going to give Patrick the benefit of the doubt that he's.
Yeah, exactly.
He's being sarcastic. I'll go into the chat for a little while. Russ, see what.
I've got a dash, Tommy, but nice to see you, man. I'll let you carry on.
Thanks for the company. Second half, appreciate it, Russ. Enjoy the sunshine. You bastard.
I'll be back soon. Don't worry. See ya.
Who was doing your job today, Russ? Oh, maybe if you're still there, Russ, tell me in the comments who's filling in for you at the LS. We've done it too suddenly, and with the wrong bloody manager. It's more annoying because we've been good for a solid period. It's been much worse, though. You're right. Who cares about past managers? What the fuck's that got to do with anything? Moyes is the manager right now. Who cares about what Pellegrini did or Bilic did or anyone else did? It's immaterial. Moyes has his chance to build on Cesar Stern. He didn't. Exactly. It was a few days after a 1-4 defeat against Liverpool. Good memory. Yeah, change tactics, but same old. Get Vincent Company in. I'd love Vincent Company. Fed up of the wingers, fullbacks always coming inside and then playing it back and then try the exact same the other side of the pitch and then give it away. Yeah. Twins, we probably won't get Poch or Tuchel or any of their names because the board is tight. Yeah, I don't think we'll get them either. I'm sorry to quote Claude RIP, it's time to go. Yes, I think we all, fans, pretty much all fans now, I think, know it's time for him to go, but I'll be honest, I'll be very happy if he gets sacked after this game, if he gets sacked tonight or tomorrow, but I hand on heart, I don't expect him to be. I think the board, I mean, put it this way, how embarrassing would it be for the board that if they backed him when we broke for the World Cup? They backed him. Imagine if they then turn around and sack him 2 games later. They would look very, very silly because they had a golden opportunity to make the change when we broke for the World Cup and didn't do it, and then give him 2 more games and then sacked him and bring in a new manager when we're in the absolute thick of it, with fixtures coming thick and fast. It just this board are just pathetic. Postacoglu or Tuchel now. Clueless GSBK need to grow a pair and fire Moyes now. No more lost points. Agree, but have my doubts. That was absolutely clueless. Yeah, them players on there didn't know what they were doing. They had absolutely no idea how to break down Brentford. And that comes back to the manager, because he doesn't know how to teach them to break down teams. We have the 5th highest average attendance in Europe. Yeah, we get great attendances and we spend a lot of money on transfers, and this is what we get for it. We probably won't get Poch or any of their names because the board's tight. I think I wrote down. We spent the 3rd highest amount in the world, Mandy. Yeah, 3rd highest in the summer in the world. Timothy Thomas, Russ, what I've been telling you for over a year. Delusional. And I'm done. 2 things that started the rot. Antonio playing for Jamaica and Moyes letting Rice go further forward and Switch staying back. Since then, we've been shite. Hasn't helped one bit. Patrick, you're a troll. You must be a troll, mate. Please tell me you're trolling. Like, Patrick, are you so great? If you're not trolling, are you so grateful to Moyes because he had a couple of decent seasons that you're willing to let him relegate us? Are you really that grateful to him that you're willing to let him take us down to the Championship? Are you a Moyes fan or a West Ham fan? Because I need to know, Patrick. Moyes doesn't have a plan A anymore, let a plan B. Yeah, true. Yeah, he's got to be on the wind-up. I agree. Like that, those comments are so crazy. He must be winding us up. Fella's like a winger with super glue on his feet. Yeah, we need fullbacks badly. Someone who knows how to handle players like this and to switch to a more dynamic possession-based style. Moyes is just not the man. Patrick, behave. I'm not showing you anymore. You're messing with our heads, Patrick. He should have gone after transfer window last January. I think that would have been tough. But Bob Dylan, I'm sure that's your real name. No, I think sacking him after January last. So I think that would have been really harsh. In hindsight, you could say it. In hindsight, you could say, yeah, if we'd have sacked him then, it may have been the right decision. But at the time, that would have been very harsh. 23 points in first 11 games last season. Kicked us on, but 11 points from last 11 of last season. Yeah. Yeah, we came out the traps really quickly last season. August, September, October. I mean, we were November. We were so good. League table is facts. Yes, that's the only fact you need to go look at, Patrick. Go look at the league table. I'm not quoting. I don't care who comes in. Fresh ideas are needed. Yes, absolutely, fresh ideas are needed. Has Russ finally agreed it's time to go now, or is he and Anto still delusional? I'll let them speak for themselves. As far as I'm aware, I think they've probably both turned at this point. Patrick doesn't think Moyes will be sacked while we're still in Europe. Patrick, our next game in Europe is in March. March. Moyes will absolutely be well gone by March. We keep losing games like this. Save face, they won't sack him yet. That could be it, Richard. It could be to save face. Like I said, they will look very, very silly if they have to sack him now. Not really showed him the respect to try and change things, and he simply hasn't. I don't know about respect. I think, yeah. Either way, look, he's got to go, and he's got. I mean, yeah, it's definitely beyond the pale now. Twiz, he's got to go. I mean, look, how could you possibly justify Moyes being in charge for the Leeds game? How can you possibly justify him continuing in this job? It's mind-boggling. Can we get rid of Warburton? What has he added to the coaching staff? Absolutely nothing, as far as I can tell. And the irony, especially after watching that shit show tonight, is that Warburton is an attacking coach. If you can believe that. So what he's doing on the training ground, I don't know. Yes, but sacking him is the thing to do to save their skins this season. So counterintuitive. Yeah, and plus you have to remember, if they're looking to sell the club, after April, when they can sell it without having to pay that huge tax money, they're not going to want to sell a championship club because they will get far less for it, far less for the club. They can't afford us to go down. 2 great seasons, semi-final in Europe, and that's it. He said his days, 6 weeks to sort it out, and he's gone as far as he can. Yeah, this is what we're getting after he had 6 weeks to work on things. Yeah, you're entitled to your opinion, Patrick, of course, and I will put them up. But we're entitled to say we think you're nuts to keep backing Moyes at this point. 5 losses in a row, 6 of our last 7, plus in the middle of that, dumped out of the Carabao Cup at home by Blackburn's B team. I mean, this isn't turning around, Patrick. I mean, come on, man. Picked the wrong time to give up drugs. Yeah, I picked the wrong week to stop sniffing glue. Yeah, I think he might be a wind-up merchant, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's persevering. Maybe 2023 our fortunes will change. They will, possibly, with a new manager. Yeah, I asked you, what's more important to you? That David Moyes keeps his job or that West Ham stay in the Premier League and turn this thing around? I mean, I just don't... But the reason I asked that is because I just do not see how anybody could possibly believe on the evidence that we've seen this season, and particularly since we've come back from this break of 6 weeks, that Moyes is going to turn this around. Did you see how clueless we were tonight, Patrick? Again, we're losing every week, and he is not arresting the slide. We're not looking any better. Even if you're someone who's inclined to give managers some time, surely at some point, West Ham itself has to take priority over the fact that you like a manager. or that you think he's done well previously in previous seasons. At some point, it has to become more about West Ham than sticking with the manager. And I just can't understand how you would not still be at that point now. It's mind-boggling. I can't understand why the board hadn't sacked him before the World Cup. Mine is a dinosaur, but Paqueta and Skamaka, I haven't seen a glimmer of class. Not yet. No, we haven't. We haven't seen nearly the best of either one of them. Moyes has given us great European nights, but the league table does not lie. No, it doesn't. This calendar year, 11 wins, 6 draws, 19 defeats. Yeah. Where were we? We were just so unlucky. Yeah, it's. I can't wait to hear what Moyes said. Can't wait to hear what Moyes said. Yeah. You're entitled to have a different opinion. And feel free to slag me back, Patrick. Don't be thin-skinned about it. If you're going to come on here in the live chat and you're going to put an opinion out that you know is going to be unpopular, own it. Argue back with us. You don't have to agree. I don't care if you agree. You can argue back strongly on here. I'll still put your comment up. Like, honestly, I've had serious barneys with people like on here who've said shit about me, and I'll tell you what, I've still put their comments up, even if I think they've been a bit over the top with me a bit. So stay in the comments and defend yourself. I'll still put your comments up. I'll disagree with you, and you must know it's at the point now where 99% of the fan base are going to disagree with you that Moyes should be kept in charge at this point. And some of it is opinion, Patrick. Some of it's just facts. The facts we've lost 5 Premier League games in a row. That's a fact. That we've lost 6 of our last 7 is a fact. That we're playing very, very poorly is a fact. That we look like we can't beat anybody is a fact. That David Moyes had 6 weeks to work on this, to improve things, and has not been able to do so is a fact. The league table is a fact. Those are all facts. You can still have your opinion that you want to keep David Moyes by hook or by crook, no matter what happens. Fine, if that's what you want, that's what you want. And you're entitled to feel that way, but you cannot argue with facts. They don't mind looking silly. They brought him back after sacking him first time round. Yeah, they've made idiots of themselves many times. Looking forward to Noble to come back. Yeah, look, it's great to have Noble back at the club in some role. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the job description is going to be. And what that looks like after a few weeks or a few months, and what it brings to the club, and what Mark brings to the club in the role. But it's always great to have him at the club. Hopefully, he'll always, be at the club. You'll always have a job here in some capacity, I would think. The defence tonight, I'll give bless him for Cresswell 3, Dawson 31. Yeah. Fabianski 36. Yeah, we've got to sort out that back line. I wanted Moyes to win tonight and turn it round. Then the players are all over the place. I did too, Mendy. Look, we all wanted it to turn around. I mean, we don't want to see West Ham losing games and playing crap and struggling like this. We all wanted to come back from this break after the World Cup and to see something positive, see a change, to see Moyes turn it around. None of this is personal. I've got nothing against Moyes on a personal level. I really don't. I quite like the man. I have a lot of respect for him. But, it's at the point now where you just can't defend it anymore. It's never personal. Okay, with Allardyce, it was a bit personal. I think he's a fucking arsehole. But outside of that, it's never been personal. Cresswell has to go, makes many mistakes, costs us in the semi-final, and maybe winning the cup. Yeah, I think this is second season that we've been playing Cresswell when we shouldn't be. Cup competitions can be fluked. League tables don't lie. Absolutely. Moyes is the manager of the 90s, the 1890s. Yeah, he is a dinosaur. Warburton was there to make Sullivan gold bread with insider trading knowledge. Who the hell knows? Certainly doesn't seem to be doing much for us on the training ground. All right, here we have the prediction. Ford Perfect. All right, I'm putting it out there. He's out tomorrow, I reckon. Let's see. I really hope. Moyes is pre-Thames Ironworks. Yeah. Would you be happy with Steven Gerrard as manager? Absolutely not. Don't want that guy anywhere near my club. He's not the answer. I still think he has a hell of a lot to prove. It is too soon for him to take on a job like this. I thought it was too soon for him to take on the Villa job. I thought Rangers was perfect for him. He had good people around him. You know, he's managing one of the two big teams in Scotland. You know, he had a chance there to do well. I still think Gerrard needs to cut his teeth, maybe in the Championship for a few seasons. And maybe he'll get there. But right now, Steven Gerrard should not be managing West Ham. And Carrick as well. I know people have thrown Carrick out there because he's got the Borough job and is doing all right there. But, you know, let's let him cut his teeth as well. Maybe one day that could happen, that he could come back to West Ham as manager, which would be a lovely story. But right now, that is not what we need in our position in the table, is to be taking chances with really inexperienced managers. The only reason I'd be willing to bring in Company is because I think I've kind of seen enough of what he's done with Anderlecht and with Burnley. I really like the way he set them up. He seems to really know what he's doing. He commands massive respect as well as a player. So I think Company could do better. This is worse than Twitter. No need for the insults, lads. I would hate to see any of you if you had a real problem. Don't take it. Yeah, listen. Personal insults, like calling people names. Let's try to avoid that, folks. Argue against each other's opinions by all means. But, you know, personal insults. I don't know Patrick. I'm sure he's a perfectly nice man, decent chap. I have a strong difference of opinion, but please don't be personal with him. I did think at first you were winding me up, but you've convinced me now that you really are still Moyes in, and that you think he should still be backed, and that you still believe in him, which is fair enough. You're entitled to that, but I just can't quite wrap my head around it at this point. Funny how somebody thought dropping Soucek would change anything. Well, I don't think it was idiotic to want Soucek dropped. I mean, he was shocking. It was shocking. It was the right thing to drop him. But obviously, like you said, that's only one piece of the jigsaw. There were a lot more things wrong than just Thomas Soucek. The report said West Ham were valued around 750 million. At the moment, they will be lucky to get 250 million. Yeah, the worse this gets, you know, the harder it gets to get the kind of money you want. It wouldn't make it as bad if he seemed to be trying to change things, but from what I can see, he's almost stuck in his ways. Yeah, I just don't think he knows how to do it. I think Moyes wants us to go and score goals. I mean, we had more than enough possession tonight and more than enough territory to have scored some goals tonight, but he can't coach the players in a way that allows us to create the opportunities to score goals. He just doesn't know how to do it. Funny thing is, Everton want him. Yeah, but you see, he could go into Everton and give him that bounce that he gave us. But Everton will find themselves in the same position as we're in right now down the line. They'll end up back at square one. And right now, we look like we're back at square one. We're in the position we were when we brought him in to try and keep us up. It's crazy. If we don't get rid of our relegated, could have predicted this after the first goal. If the board leave it too late, we're struggling to find someone decent. Well, yeah, again, we're going to end up bringing in Sean Dyche, aren't we, to try and keep us up. Can we re-sign Yarmolenko to score some goals? Don't think so. The best thing that Moyes will stay as manager. Question is the manager the problem? Yes, along with the board, by the way, who should have sacked him by now. So the board are a problem, but they've always been a problem, and now Moyes is a problem because, from what we've seen, he does not know how to get us out of this. The best thing that Moyes will stay as manager. Oh, sorry, yeah. Because loads lads are playing games. Patrick, Moyes has saved us from our last two nearest relegations. Yes, but I think the suggestion, correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick, I think the suggestion is that he's gotten us out, he's saved us from two relegations before, and so you think he's the man to keep at the club to save us from this one. I don't think the logic quite follows, Patrick. I think it's different when you sack a manager and then you bring in a new manager to turn things around, which Moyes did, as you say, right, correctly, twice. I think it's different when that manager is the one who's put you in that relegation scrap, because you don't get that new face on the training ground. You don't get the new voice. You don't get the new ideas that manager brings, the new pep in the step from the players. You know, what they call it, the honeymoon period. You don't get any of that. I think it's different when that manager has put you in that spot and has to turn it around. I don't think it equates that way, Patrick, if I'm honest. We're not too good to go down as we've done before. Change manager now. There's still plenty of games left. Yeah. We're still not quite halfway through the season. We've got two more games before we hit the halfway point. So yeah, let's do it now. Well, let's not do it really late where we're really panicked. Paqueta, how many missed passes? Come on, since Vlasic to Torino, fellas killing there. Yeah, the Vlasic one. The Vlasic one is well, we all know it's ridiculous. He's a number 10, and he brought him in and just threw him on the left wing when he did play him. He goes to Torino. They put him in the number 10 role, and he's doing really well over there. Didn't say I like him. Paqueta needs motivating. I think he needs a manager who can get him playing. Moyes is just the wrong manager for him. Listen, I'm in the youth team and I'm playing well in midfield, but I could play that in Scamacca at striker. Yeah. Look, it's not clicking. I think it's too early. To make that kind of judgment against Scamacca or Paqueta. They've come into a team that's having a horrible season and is completely disjointed, with a manager who has no idea how to get this team going. It's not a good season to come in if you're new to the league, as well. It's not just that they're new to West Ham, they're new to the Premier League, and things have been really poor all season. And they didn't start the season, as well. So, we were like this before them. Moyes has put us in a position of relegation. He's clearly not the right manager. We're on a long, long losing streak. We did need new leadership and a new style, Patrick, mate. Could Tommy do any worse than Moyes if he was manager? If your answer is no, Moyes has to go. Oh, Jesus. I'll tell you what, Mendy, I'm not a manager, obviously. Look, I know that's obviously tongue-in-cheek. But I think... So no, I don't imagine I'd be particularly good at Premier League manager. I would have to really surround myself with great staff who are essentially doing the job. I would just pick the team and I'd get the coaches in who could like play the more attacking style that I'd want. I would definitely in January have 2 new fullbacks. I'll tell you that. I'd have a left back and a right back in. I don't care if it eats into the summer money because I'd be doing that in the summer anyway. But yeah, I'd love to. I'd make a fucking balls of it, no doubt. But wouldn't it be amazing to say you manage West Ham? Gomez and take your. Oh, Norman, be nice. That's not nice. That's over the top. Just don't be personal like that, Norman. Thank you, Bellon. I don't know exactly what that's for, but appreciate it. I thought I was watching Benny Hill with Antonio ball control. Yeah, he's got lead boots, doesn't he? His control is great. I'm not stooping to insults while arguments and with people, not looking to argue. Yeah, let's not do the personal insults. It's not necessary. I'll argue with you guys all night long, and you can argue strongly with me. But let's not get into personal stuff. There's no need for it. Patrick, in the minority, express it. If it's from the heart, if it's special, disagree. Yes, you should have sacked him before World Cup. Where are we? Okay, I think we're at pretty much the end of the comments. A couple more, and then we'll. Okay, Moyes' limitations were clearly shown tonight. Lack of quality balls to the front line, lack of movement in the box, not including Dawson, not quick enough in attack. Yeah, our biggest attacking threat tonight was Craig Dawson. Isn't that a fucking shambles? Craig Dawson was our biggest attacking threat. Yeah. It's a crazy situation. The worrying thing is that teams on the bottom who look poor have beat us. Everton, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, and somewhere. Yeah, it's yikes. I will go soon. You lot are keeping me up with these comments, but I appreciate you guys. I love it. I would say Moyes has been our best man since Redknapp. I've tried to stick with him, but enough is enough. Yeah, Moyes did a really good job for a couple of seasons, but look, the wheels have come off. If we don't sack Moyes, January players will want to leave during the window when that's more trouble. Yeah, players that, like Skamaka, Paqueta, Rice, they're not going to hang around for this shit next season. Wolves and Everton both look better than us. Is something we haven't got. Yeah, I'll tell you what, lads. I mean, we're in a crunch period now. The games we got Leeds, we got Everton, we got Wolves coming. We can't keep doing this. We can't. We lose those games. I mean, we're bang in trouble. Listen, I absolutely love Moyes, but he really has to go. Yeah, like I say, it's not personal. I like Moyes. Decent chap. I think Moyes will get at least another match, but I've been saying for quite a while we need a new manager. I think he'll get more time as well. Seriously, signing we needed in January last year is another factor, although Moyes can't excuse this shower of shite he's failing regardless. He is failing. Giving us some of our most memorable nights. I love Moyes for that, but our league form is disastrous. Yeah, look, I'm not one of these people that believes in all this credit in the bank shite. A season like this is unacceptable. Last season's in the bag. The season before that is in the bag. I appreciate it. Thankful for it. But I'm not carrying it into this season. I'm just not. If the wheels have come off, and they have, you have to go. It's as simple as that. And, I only have so much patience. This is not, teams have a bad start to the season sometimes, and we all accept that. The first 10 games you might not be great. You might struggle a bit, and then kind of kick into gear. But we're way beyond that. Way beyond that. We're 17 games in, and it's still horrible. You just can't accept that, no matter what they've done in previous seasons. This is not a wobble. Declan Rice, it was laughable after the Arsenal game. Is being interviewed, I think, on NBC, the American station, and he called it a blip. A blip. It's a fucking 16-game blip. And it was was it the Sun or something? Stuart Pearce was rattling on again about, oh, we know it's been a poor start. This is not a poor start. 6, 7, 8 games is a poor start. 16, 17 games is not a poor start. It's almost half a season. Stop with the excuses. Elodas left at West Ham. Moyes cares, although Moyes can't be kept for being an all-right bloke. No, it's not a personality contest. Seeing tonight's match, I wonder if some players actually want Moyes out. I'm sure quite a lot of players want him replaced. They'll never say it. They'll never admit it. But I'm sure they do. They look like a team that have no self-belief left and have no belief in the manager or what he's doing. Yeah. What's up, coming and trolling people calling for me to be kicked off here? You're not getting kicked off here. All I said was he has the best win ratio of all our managers. That is a fact, and the insult started. Yeah, like I said, no personal insults. Differences of opinion is fine. Yeah, I imagined, Patrick, that I honestly thought you were a troll because I just couldn't imagine that anyone still wanted Moyes to continue in charge of this team after tonight. But look, if you do, you do. I honestly thought you were winding us up because we get that in the chat as well. People are being ironic and being sarcastic. We get that a lot, and so I thought that's what you were doing. If you're not, that's fine. So that's all it was. But like I say, you're not getting kicked off, and I don't want to see anyone personally insulted. Paqueta and not look happy. Nobody in that team is happy. Rice needs to lead the players captain, but not working. It's too late to change. Rice will put in a transfer in January, so stick with him till he's moved. Rice deserves to move on to better himself. Yeah, I think Rice is just very, very frustrated. Very frustrated. All right, I'll leave that between you guys now, to be honest. Dick's not a captain. Love him, and he loves the club, but not a captain. Yeah, look, he's young, and maybe it was a little too early for him. Vincent Kompany would be perfect. Yeah, I think so. I'd love to get Vincent Kompany in. Would you guys take Bielsa? I know there's pros and cons with Bielsa. Like, I know there's pros and cons with Bielsa. I know he's very attacking, and I know you do tend to concede goals under Bielsa. So I understand a lot of fans saying no, it's just too much of a roller coaster. It's too unpredictable. We'd either win 4-3 or lose 4-3 every week. But I don't know. Maybe it would be fun. Wouldn't it be fun? Like we would really be an attacking team. Like we would score goals. Yeah, we'd probably concede them, but fucking hell, it wouldn't be boring, would it? It'd be bloody entertaining watching West Ham every week, wouldn't it? And who knows? What if he got the best out of the players and we actually won a lot more than we lost? And we're like a top 10 team pushing for a European spot and playing really, really good football. I'd be tempted. I won't be disappointed. Moyes gets sacked and we bring Bielsa. I tell you what, I'd be kind of looking forward to that and saying, fucking go on then. I'm sick of this style of play under Moyes. It's fucking boring. I would love to in the chat I've got between us for a finished work in Spain. I also have a strangest reason for Moyes in. Ooh, well, if you have a strangest-ish reason for Moyes in, Danny, I would love to hear it. Good chat to listen to. But all right, cheers, Danny, mate. Appreciate it, and hopefully you'll join us again. Declan looked mentally exhausted at one point tonight when Paqueta gave him the ball siders rather than pushing out to Sofal. Yeah, I think a lot of players are mentally exhausted. It's hard to lose every week. It really is. It's got to be mentally draining and quite depressing at this point to lose every week. They're going back into that dressing room again tonight, having lost again. It's got to be tough. I mean, there's got to be like absolutely no confidence left in those players in what they're doing. This can't go on. Bielsa, Ballon Dawson is up for it. I'm up for it, Ballon. If you're up for it, I'm up for it. Let's sack him and get in fucking Bielsa, and let's have like 7-8 goal thrillers. Fuck it, why not? What you want? I'm saying, bro, he will stay. I don't want him to stay. If you ask me, Moyes shouldn't start this season with us. Yeah, fair enough. The wheels were coming off. I mean, maybe you saw it coming before I did. I wasn't happy with the second half of last season, but I certainly wasn't ready to sack him. But if you saw this coming, fair play, mate. I agree with this, Barking. Royce still performs and tries so hard for West Ham. You can feel his frustration when he's interviewed. Yeah. Thing is, I don't think any of the players have packed it in. I don't think any of them have done tools. Like, there's no mutiny. You could see tonight, I mean, they did a lot of running, a lot of closing down. They got on the ball. I think the players are still trying, but it's hard when your confidence is low, and it's hard when you're not set up correctly by the manager, you're not coached properly into breaking teams down, and it's very frustrating and depressing. And so the players, I can see they're trying, like they want to turn this around. They don't want to be losing every week, regardless of, even if Declan knows he's going in the season. You think he wants to go out every week and have the team play like that and lose every time they go out? It's incredibly frustrating. I think the board have shot themselves in the foot by not sacking Moyes earlier. I hope they lose a shitload of money. Yeah, the board get whatever they deserve, frankly. But the thing is, the fans don't deserve this. We deserve better than this. For us, there is promises and personal choice, but we will stay up with Moyes, just not in a pleasing fashion. We are too good to go down. I thought that before, Scott. I thought that before. That we had a team before that I thought was too good to go down, and we weren't, and we went down, and we had some cracking players in that team. Patrick, we should be where Newcastle are. Well, certainly we have the potential to be where Newcastle are. I would say we have, absolutely, quality-wise, we have a comparable squad to Newcastle. They just have a much better manager. How much crow would you eat, Tommy, if he keeps his job and we stay up and win a cup? Will you still be fighting with ejects? You mean Egypts on the net? Fighting with Egypts on the net. How much crow would you eat? A lot of crow. I'll eat a lot of crow. And I'll eat it. Make no mistake. Mr. Patrick, I have no problem being wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times. And if he does stay, and we do miraculously turn it around and have a really great second half of the season, depends what it means, stay up. Is that really what you're looking for? To stay up? Finish 17th? Oh, happy days. No, I'm sorry. Staying up is not what we should be aiming at. We're way beyond the team now that should be looking at survival. So no, I won't be happy with us staying up. It requires a turnaround, a big turnaround. We should be finishing in the top 10. It's as simple as that. Now, winning the conference obviously would be brilliant, amazing. I'd love to win it. But we're not going to win anything under David Moyes, including the conference. We do not win cups under David Moyes. He doesn't win them. If David Moyes is in charge till the end of the season, we'll get beaten by somebody in the Conference League. It's as simple as that. Oh, look who it is. Anton. We've got Tommy? A lively one in here, mate. I'm just telling you, warning you ahead of time. We've got a lively one in here.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate. So I suppose I'm going to come out of the chat. So it's a bit lively in there. Yeah. So I don't know if
I can imagine.
It's a bit tasty. It's a bit tasty. So I suppose thoughts on that, mate?
Yeah, well, Tommy, I don't know, man. I've been really kind of, where I've been at. Like, I'm trying to find any reason for us to stick by Moyes. And each game that goes by now, it becomes hard to defend. But I think I said to myself a couple of weeks ago, I was like, Arsenal just want to see us turn up and do something. But if we don't, I can forgive Arsenal if we turn up and do Brentford and do Leeds. But we've not done Brentford. And watching the game today, it was just like we were running out of ideas and there was panic setting in. And that was the concerning part. So I get why fans have thought the way they have. I get why you are thinking the way you have. I get that. I appreciate that. I just wanted to see if Moyes, given the time, could turn it round. But what concerns me slightly, Tommy, is that like with all the new players, if Aguerd comes back into that team, does that change that team? No. Like if Cornet comes into that team, does that change in the team? Maybe a little bit, but not enough than what we need. We're lacking that groove. We're lacking that connection. We're lacking that unified approach that we've had for the last couple of seasons, and I'm struggling to defend it, if I'm being honest. And I don't want to commit to anything yet because I've said to myself I need to give it to Leeds. I think Leeds for me would be Zuma, Aguerd, and maybe I don't know, Tommy, mate. I'm struggling. I am struggling. It's tough.
Well, I suppose, look, ultimately, it doesn't matter what we want or what we would do. It's interesting to have those conversations, but ultimately, Moyes is the one who's going to put that team on the pitch, as he has been all season. He changed the formation tonight. Dropped Souček. There were two positive things. He did try something different.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, the result is the same. I mean, now to be fair, you've been much more patient with Moyes than I have, and a lot of fans have. And there are still some of you that are still either Moyes in or still not quite ready to pull the trigger. And that's fair enough. You're entitled to feel that way. And I think you'll get your wish. I think he will be in charge for the game against Leeds.
Tommy, I think with regards to my side of patience, it doesn't mean that I'm right because I'm patient, and it doesn't mean that you're right because you're saying get me. We don't really know, because I think I'm concerned more about. I think if there was very blatant, clear options that we know we could clearly bring in that would try and ignite what we've got, then I would be a bit like, okay, I can maybe see it now. But my concern is some of the names that are thrown out there are beyond reach and always probably will be. And I know that sounds really negative in the mindset, but I think that's just where I'm at with it. And unless I know or we know, I don't want to get stung again by the Pellegrini situation. I don't want to go through 2 or 3 more years of shit. And I think the concern I've got is a little bit like, who would we want to get us out of this situation? I know it sounds really bad that we're even saying this, but Moyes is probably the manager that we would want to try and bring us out of this situation. And when you look and listen to a lot of Everton fans and a lot of ex-pros, they do say that Moyes gives you 2 solid seasons and 1 bang average season, followed by 2 solid seasons, 1 bang average season. So it's about... Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to try and project the future to that extent, but let me respond to this, because we actually had this from someone in the chat a little while ago. You obviously didn't hear it. I did respond to it. Someone saying that what kind of manager would you want to get us out of a relegation scrap? And Moyes is one of the managers you'd look to. But for me, it's not the same thing, Anton. I think it's different when you sack a manager and bring a new manager in like Moyes to get you out of a hole, because you've got a fresh face, a fresh manager, new ideas. It perks the players up, and then he can turn things around, which he's done for us twice in his defense. I think it's completely different when that manager has got you in that hole and has to try and get you out of it. I think it's much more difficult to turn it around in those circumstances. I wouldn't trust Moyes to dig us out of this hole. If we had a different manager right now who got sacked after tonight, and then the board said we're bringing Moyes in till the end of the season to get us out of this hole, I would say, okay, that could really work if we have him till the end of the season to dig us out. But I think when he's the manager that's got us in this hole and in this mire, I don't think it quite works the same way. if that makes sense.
It does make it does. Listen, we're in the world of football, the world of the unknown. We don't really know. We can sit here all we want and think we can bring someone else in and it will turn our fortunes around and we may get the reaction we want. It may not work. It may not necessarily work. But what I saw tonight is a team that should be doing better, but are lacking that va-va. And we're lacking. Fuck. Like, I think there's maybe another borderline clear out at the club needed. I think there's maybe been too many. When I think about the Benrahma situation, okay, Moyes maybe has mismanaged them, but he's been mismanaged for 3 years. If a new manager comes in, is he going to give him a new lease of life, or will he be looking for a new lease of life at another club? Up front, Scamacca, I don't know. I think Scamacca's got something there about him, and I think Paqueta's blatantly got something there about him. He gave away the ball quite a lot today, but he did try things. He was trying things. It's just the team's not on the same level. And you think to yourself, what's that lad, the Senegal striker we're linked to? Is it Dia? Dia, he plays in France. Is that his name? I can't remember his name, but he's a sort of him and Scamacca working up top together. Like, they just... I'm struggling, Tommy. I'm struggling tonight after that victory. Sitting with my dad watching the game, listening to my dad going, shit, man, Moyes is panicking. And it's the first time I've heard that for a long time coming from my dad. Different when he turns around and he says, yeah, we should be winning that game. But now when you're doing things like you're just total panic is setting in, and you can see that. But yeah, I'm trying to be consistent with my approach on how I feel about West Ham since Moyes has changed my perception on West Ham. So that's probably why I'm trying to stick by what Moyes is doing. However, is that today acceptable? No. Was Crystal Palace acceptable? No. Was Leicester City acceptable? No. Was Arsenal second half acceptable? No. There's too many unacceptables there, even if you don't have a consistent team playing. The thing is, though, Tommy, he's going to get Leeds. Minimum, yeah. He's going to get Leeds. We know that minimum. And that means then, if things don't work out at Leeds, if they do switch, then someone new gets a month in a new market if they need it.
Yeah, that's the thing, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think the team needs an overhaul. I think there are positions we need to look at. I think certainly the fullback positions. We need... we've lost him. I'll just continue my answer, and Anton hopefully will pop back on. We definitely need 2 fullbacks. We need 2 younger, fresher, modern-day fullbacks. I think that could really make a difference. I think we need younger centre-backs. Now, Aguerd is quite young, so that's good. Zuma certainly is not past it by any means. I just think, obviously, Dawson's going to go. We all know that. Potentially even in January to Wolves, but certainly he'll be gone at the end of the season. So I think he should be replaced with a younger centre-back. Ogbonna, obviously, as well, coming towards the end of his time with us. When he's replaced, he needs to be replaced with a younger centre-back. It will help mitigate against injuries, and I think it will really improve us. I think we saw again tonight, I think out on the flanks, in the full-back positions, I think we're really weak in those positions. I think those are positions of absolute urgency. Ideally, I would love to see us address the full-back positions in January. If we can get the players that we want in January, we should absolutely try to do that. It could potentially make a massive difference if we've got 2 much better fullbacks. We need fullbacks who are going to get up and down the pitch and who are going to really make a difference in attack. We just don't have it. Cresswell can't do it anymore. He just can't do it. Sofal, it just isn't that type of fullback. Sofal is just a more old-school defensive fullback, and he is quite solid defensively, Sofal, but going forward doesn't really bring anything to the team. We've got to get fullbacks in, that can get forward and supplement the attack and really cause a problem for opponents down the wings. Danny, you finished work. Congrats. Yeah, we're still here, mate. So feel free to chip in with your wisdom. Young fullbacks, we have Elwell Johnson and Ashby. We had Elise say, but you know what Moyes did. Yeah, that's a massive issue for me, Yardy. You know, Harrison Ashby is a scandalous situation, how that's been allowed to happen. He's a really talented young man, really talented, and how he's been allowed to leave just so we could, you know, keep the likes of Sofal, who's getting older, and who's not the right style of fullback for us now in the Premier League. You know, Kehrer has been very patchy. Excuse me. Johnson, again, defensively quite solid, but going forward, not great. I think Harrison Ashby has the potential to be a really good modern day fullback who can do both. And the fact that he's been treated so badly that he demands to leave is scandalous. The left-hand side, obviously, we don't. I don't know enough about Langelo, if I'm honest. Now he's doing very well out on loan. Is it Birmingham? He's playing for Birmingham. They like him. So there was a possibility maybe taking a look at him. But I think, you know, if we'd have given Ashby his opportunity at the start of this season, who knows what that would look like now. We could have an absolute gem on our hands, and that's one problem fixed. It could be worth trying Johnson on the left for now, because he has actually played some of his best games for us on that side. And, you know, for now, maybe although look, he's not great going forward, I still think he's better defensively than going forward. Yeah, we've got to do something at the fullback positions. Fingers crossed Noble can work some magic when he starts to week, but embarrassing, we should rely on him. Yeah, I hope so. Let's hope Noble can make a difference. He'll certainly be passionate. He knows the club inside out. So, you know, hopefully that'll do something for us. Hope Johnson can progress, but he has stagnated. Yeah, he has, and I'll tell you why he's stagnated. Anon, is it? He's stagnated because he's been shoved from pillar to post. A very promising young right back who's been played all over the bloody park at the back. He's had no chance to progress as a right back. He's been played sometimes at right back. He's been played as the right-sided centre back, played as a right wing back, left wing back. He's been moved all over the place. If you're a young player just coming into the team and trying to develop and to prove yourself and become, you know, a really good player and nail down a place in the side, you've got to play in your position, and you've got to play in there regularly, and you've got to learn and grow and develop. How are you supposed to develop into a great right back, right wing back, right-sided centre back, left-sided wing back? It's impossible. He's got no chance. That's why his development has stagnated, because the poor boy's been trying to learn about 5 positions. It's a joke. If you were going to play him at right back and put your trust in him and let him grow and develop. And who knows what kind of right back we would have right now in Ben Johnson. He'd certainly be, I think, a lot better than he is. He's still a decent young player and still has some potential, but he's got to play, and he's got to play in his position. You can't expect him to become really great player in 5 positions. And I think Moyes has done him absolutely no favours whatsoever. And have we given Cresswell a new contract? Yeah, I think there was a year extension. Turn around, top 10 finish. You pissed up 8 points off top 10. Safety is now priority. Don't know if Moyes has had a nightmare with injuries or if he's just Mickey Mouse. Yeah, turn around as in improve our form, improve our performances, and start winning some games. There's still a lot of games left, Rick. You know, if we sack Moyes, get a manager in who does a really good job for the rest of the season, we're still 2 games to play before we're even at the halfway point. So, no, I don't need to be pissed up to say we could still finish top 10. It's that look at the table. It's not a massive jump to get top 10. We just need to get on a good run and play to our potential or somewhere near it. Because right now, I mean, we're in a very, very false position. We shouldn't be anywhere near there. And there's still a lot of games to play. We should have sacked Moyes when we broke up for the World Cup. If we'd had a new manager in, we could be up and running already and playing much better. We might have won tonight. Okay, we may not still have won at Arsenal. It's a very tough game. But we might have played a lot better, and we might have won tonight. We might have beat Brentford. We might be going to Leeds with a pep in our step. And yeah, we could turn this season around and get in top 10. 8 points. You just said it. Thank you. 8 points. What's 8 points if you go on a good run? And other teams are going to drop points too. But it's just under Moyes. I just do not see that happening. I just think that after the last couple of years we had, especially in Europe, does he not deserve to see this adventure out? Imagine if we finished top 14, 15. Deserve? No, he doesn't. Deserve's got nothing to do with it. This is not a blip. This is not a bad start to the season. I gave him latitude. I really did. But, a bad start is, 6, 7, 8 games, and then you kind of pick up. It happens a lot of teams. We've had it happen to us before. I'm not that impatient. And I am grateful for the good times that we had under David Moyes. But this is completely unacceptable, Danny, and it's showing absolutely no signs whatsoever of improving. He had 6 weeks to work on this during the World Cup. 6 weeks to work on the training ground with the players and get things turned around. And what we've seen is a shit show. A shit show. So no, I don't think he deserves to continue like this. He certainly does not deserve for us to risk going down and getting relegated. No manager deserves that. Listen, you've got to keep doing your job. You can't harp on about the last 2 seasons forever. I'm sorry, in any job that you're in, you're not going to get that much latitude for what you've done in the past. You've still got to keep doing your job, and you still have to keep doing it to a certain level. And this is way below the level that we should be demanding of any manager who's in charge of our club. I think he's very lucky to still be in a job. And I think he'll be exceedingly lucky if he's still in charge for the Leeds game, because he shouldn't be, in my opinion. He's gotten more than enough latitude this season, in my opinion, Danny, to be honest. Now, look, maybe you're just particularly grateful to him and you're particularly patient. And maybe, Danny, you still believe in David Moyes. You still believe he'll turn it around. What adventure? You mean like Europe? We won't win the Conference League like this. There's absolutely no chance. What do you mean? Imagine if we finish up 14th or 15th. That's not good enough, Danny. Really? Come on, man. 14th or 15th with our squad? Like, that can't be the height of our ambitions, Danny. That's not a good season. We should bring the from Celtic. Oh, yeah, that's right. He looks really good. He's been playing really well for Celtic, and he had a really good World Cup. I take that all day long. Friendly Celtic manager. Yeah, let's bring both. Let's bring the Celtic manager and their right back. Tommy, we have Angelo out on loan, bring him into the senior team. Yeah, I don't see why he'd do any kind of worse than Cresswell. Cresswell's not really bringing a whole lot to the team right at this point. For the future and win conference, without being another third year success. I waited years to see us in Europe and had some of my best days watching the boys the last couple of years. Yeah, look, I'd be delighted if we win the Conference League. I just don't believe David Moyes is capable of it. But I don't think it's either or. Like, I don't think you have to. You have to choose one or the other. I think we can do well in the Premier League, and I mean we've got no Conference League games at the moment. Absolutely nothing. It's all Premier League. We have a big gap from when we finish the group stage of the Conference League to when we play again in March. I mean, you can't excuse this league form because maybe he might win the Conference League in May. we can't hang around for that and be content with where we are in the league. We can't take that chance. Okay, I do apologise. I know we could all stay here all night talking about this, but I really need to go, Lou. So look, I really appreciate everybody who came in and joined me for the watch along. Thank you all for all of the comments. I'd love to keep going with this, and I really could for ages yet. We probably all could. But I think I've been on for like 3.5 hours now. Minus the half-time break. But listen, thank you all for joining me. And hopefully you'll all come and join me next Friday night at 10 o'clock for my late show. And we might have a lot to talk about. In fact, we definitely will have a lot to talk about. Let's see if Moyes is still in charge. And let's see what's going to happen in that Leeds game, because this is crunch time now. But look, until then, thank you all. Really appreciate you all. Whether you agree or disagree, I love a bit of banter. It's all about opinions. And take care of yourselves, and Happy New Year, everybody. And I hope you all have a brilliant 2023. And I'll talk to you all again soon. Come on, you Irons.